New here, my name is Brian Craig. Make sure that you subscribe. And if you're already subscribed, please like the video and, of course, click that notification bell if you don't mind. That would be awesome and helpful. Oh, man. We got that hearing yesterday is what I'm going to talk about first with the Supreme Court nominee. And what I'm going to say when I get on the air in a couple minutes, which is true. That was the most disastrous Supreme Court nominee hearing I've ever seen. And actually, it might be the most devastating hearing ever for any nominee for any office, not just Supreme Court. That was just brutal. I'm expecting Biden to withdraw her, but they'll give her the opportunity to step aside for the better of something. But that was she definitely had to have some serious reflection yesterday after that hearing on moving forward, because she's got a problem. And we'll be hearing about you and your business on the Steve Kane Show. Attention seniors, protect yourself and your loved ones from losing your hard-earned. Good morning, everyone. Welcome. We'll be on the air shortly. You are invited to attend Attorney Barry Siegel's Living Trust Seminar. It's free and will be held Tuesday, April 12th from 2 to 3 p.m. at the South County Civic Center in Delray Beach. All living trust plans are not created equally. Find out why at Attorney Barry Siegel's free Living Trust Seminar. To make your reservation for this free Living Trust Seminar, call the Siegel Law Group right now. Toll free 1-855. I think Dems do care. I don't think they're going to be able to get her confirmed. I don't think so. Remember, they need 50. They need all 50 votes plus Kamala. Of course, they'll get Kamala, but can they get the 50? Can they get the 50 votes? Here we go. All righty, welcome everyone. Yes. My name is Brian Craig. You are listening to the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest-running radio show on the radio since 1977, celebrating 45 years on the radio this year, the Steve Kane Show. That's right. It's 6 minutes past the hour, Wednesday morning, March 23rd, 2022. If you're new to the program, welcome. You're going to love this show, I promise you. All right. That hearing yesterday, the Supreme Court nominee hearing with Ketanji Brown Jackson, was, and I think I can say this with complete confidence. If you have an example that shoots down what I'm about to say, I welcome the call. I believe that was not just the most disastrous hearing for a Supreme Court nominee in the history of the televised process, because we can only go by television era. That very well may have been the most disastrous confirmation hearing for any office, any cabinet post, Supreme Court, whatever it is. That was just the worst. I'm expecting this nomination to be withdrawn. Biden and his staff, they're going to go over in Europe and they're going to see if the news cycle chills out on this. It ain't going to happen. It ain't going to happen. He's going to withdraw her nomination. Now, they'll give her the opportunity to save face and step aside for the good of some nonsense or something. But they don't. First off, they're not going to be able to get the votes after yesterday. I know a lot of people are talking about, the Kavanaugh hearings and things like this. This is much, much different. In American society today, there are taboos. Even in woke America, even in wokester Democrat America, there are taboos. Not as many taboos as there once were, but there are taboos. And she was sympathetic to taboos in every corner of our society. There is not a group of people that are law-abiding in America who do not believe that the possession of child pornography is a taboo. And she's got a sickness in her. And there was a second taboo that she was sympathetic to, and that was the guy with all the heroin. Okay, we'll get to all of this on the program today. I do want to hear your calls sharing your thoughts and opinions on what you took away from that hearing yesterday with Ketanji Brown Jackson. It was devastating. And this is very different than the Kavanaugh hearing. The Kavanaugh hearing, they had some fictitious story from long ago with a woman that had no evidence. What we saw yesterday were things that were recent, things since she has been on the federal bench, and court transcripts of her statements, and, of course, court records of her sentencing. And this isn't an isolated case. If there was like one case where some guy was in front of her and she gave him an unusually light sentence, the 3-month guy, which was insane, that case. But if there was some circumstance where she believed he got jammed up and wasn't really guilty, but the conviction had come in and she gave him a light sentence, that would be bad enough and people would be upset about it. But that's not what we saw. What we saw from Ketanji yesterday is that every time one of the people who are part of the most scummy part of society come before her, she gives them as light of a sentence as she is allowed to under the law. If she were like a local judge where she had complete discretion, I think we'd see a lot of suspended sentences and time served, but she does have some federal guidelines. She just can't let these people go. And when she attempted to defend herself, you could see it in her face, because, facial expressions say a lot. When Hawley and Cruz and the rest brought up these examples of these just disgusting people from these cases that she let off the hook, basically, with the lightest sentences she could, when she responded, she isn't like even embarrassed. She in her heart and her mind believes that this society's legal system discriminates against these lowlives in our society, the worst of the worst. You could see it in her face. You could see it in her body language. She still, even when confronted, doesn't think she did anything wrong with these sentences. It's appalling. It's scary. And I'll tell you this. She's in big trouble. If she doesn't make it on the Supreme Court, which is unlikely today, I know no one else is saying that because no one wants to make predictions. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I cannot help it if we've got morally corrupt people in the Senate that are going to vote for her. But I believe her confirmation is very unlikely at this point. When the Republicans take over Congress in the midterm elections, Ketanji could find herself impeached and removed from the federal bench seat she currently has over this. This woman's got a sickness, people. And this is mostly what these hearings are about differences in politics. Is the Constitution a living document? She didn't even know. I was shocked at this. This is so unimportant compared to the main thing, but I was in shock that she was not even familiar with the Dred Scott decision. Dred Scott, we were learning about that like in the 5th grade in American Social Studies in the 4th, 5th grade, Dred Scott. But anyway, she's in trouble forever over this. This isn't an ideological difference. Well, you know, she supports critical race theory, or you know, she believes the Constitution's a living document, or you know, or says we need to look at other countries' laws when interpreting American law. And this is not an ideological difference. She came out sympathetic to one of the very few taboos left in American society yesterday. No one can defend that. No one can defend that, except Jeffrey Toobin, of course, who, you know, has his own problems. I'm going to give out the number. It's toll free. 1-888-GO-CANE-1. 888-465-2631. They need 50 votes in the Senate plus Kamala to get her confirmed. So I want to hear your thoughts on a few things here early on in the show before we bring up other topics. Do you think they've got the votes? Do you think they've got 50 U.S. senators who are going to vote to confirm what we saw yesterday? I don't see it. You really think Manchin and Sinema are going to vote for that? I want to hear your answer to that question. Do you believe that she will be withdrawn prior to the vote because of that? What are your thoughts, your emotions, your feelings about her sympathy towards these most disgusting people in our society? And also, if, you know, is she in danger of being impeached as a federal judge even after not being confirmed by a Republican Congress? And, you know, furthermore, I'll tell you, if somehow they manage to get her on the Supreme Court of the United States, a Republican Congress could impeach her on the Supreme Court bench over this. This is beyond politics, what we saw yesterday. The number's toll free from anywhere. 1-888-GO-CANE-1. 888-465-2631. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
This is Mike from Louisiana.
Hey, Mike.
You know, I think she has a definite chance. She should probably be impeached off of the current seat.
No doubt.
And then if she happens to make it through, which I don't see happening, because look, remember, Sinema and Manchin, they've been having problems with those two guys for a long time because they refused to pass some bills. They stuck to their gun, you know. And so I don't know if they have the 50 votes.
I don't think they do. Not with what we saw yesterday.
No, and that's the thing. I mean, even a Trump-hating guy like Lindsey Graham, you know, came off looking good in his questioning of her, you know. And
well, it was a sad day for this country, because we've got a sitting president of the United States whose staff knew about all this crap, and they still put her up there. And no one around Biden said, well, wait a minute. She said an 18-year-old, this blew me away. She said an 18-year-old man who was in possession of child pornography of 8 and 11-year-old children, that those 8 and 11-year-old children were not that far apart from him in age and were his peer. That's not a peer. That's not a peer. I mean, my goodness. And she doesn't even think she did anything wrong. She's still sympathetic. She was almost like an advocate for these people.
You know, my feeling is this. You look at him, you look at Biden right now. We know that he, you know, because we know we have a very, very good feeling, and he doesn't have all his faculties about him, right? Because one, they don't refuse to let him take a cognitive exam, you know. And so, think about this: if any president would, even a Democratic president, would she have been on his list? Would Democratic President X, would they have had this woman on their list of judges possible judges to replace.
Well, we're in uncharted territory. We're in uncharted territory so far as a nominee for a federal office at all by a president. Hey, Mike in Louisiana, I got to take our first break of the day, but thanks for the call. Those of you that are on hold, stand by. I'm going to go right to the calls after this break. My name is Brian Craig. It's the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show on the radio since 1977.
Attention seniors and those who care about them. How would you like to have instant access to a Medicare advocate at the touch of a button? You can for less than $1 a day with I Will Advocates. I Will Advocates will assist you with doctor appointment scheduling, pharmacy issues, billing problems, plan benefits, Medicare applications. They'll even help when you're in the hospital. I Will Advocate clients are family, and they go to bat for their family when you need them the most. Let them be your golden guardians. Contact I Will Advocates right now online at iwilladvocates.com or call them directly, 954-345-1214. No matter where you're located throughout the state of Florida or nationwide, 954-345-1214. 954-345-1214. Brian Craig here. I've been telling you for years how great MyPillow products are, but don't just take my word for it. This is one of our listeners, Todd.
Welcome. If you're new here, make sure you subscribe. And everyone, please like the video and click that notification bell.
Yeah, I'm calling you that morning about my pillow topper.
You ordered the MyPillow, the mattress topper?
Yes, I did.
Yeah, tell me about it.
Well, I was thinking about buying a new mattress. My old mattress was getting old. So my wife's like, why don't you try that pillow, that mattress topper?
Chaz Z, $5 super chat. Thank you. Everyone, please thank Chaz. Never underestimate how low Democrats will go. She'll probably get the 50 votes. I don't know about that. We are in uncharted territory here, and it's public. Now,
The mattress companies have turned into con artists. When I was a kid, mattresses were two-sided. You'd have the mattress, then after a while, you'd flip it over.
Julian, $5 super chat. Thank you. Everyone, thank Julian for that super chat.
People weren't buying mattresses enough, so the mattress
Today, WLW 700 AM is 100 years old.
mattresses are expensive. I've had
In Cincinnati. Wow, that's amazing.
mattresses.
Yeah, it's fantastic. I really love it.
Yeah, this is
Well, that's great. Well, I appreciate that. You guys out there.
this is going in places where no one dreamed. I mean, this is just she.
At mypillow.com, save 30%
Press
off your
1 if you think she has a sickness.
two free
2, no.
but you gotta use the
Wesley, $5 super chat. Thank you, Wesley. Please thank Wesley. Good morning, Brian. This just shows how much of a train wreck Biden is. Yeah.
big MyPillow.
1, she is
K-A-N-E at mypillow.
is sick. 2, not. All right, 22 minutes after the hour. I'm Brian Craig. This is the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest-running radio show on the radio since 1977, celebrating 45 years on the radio. That's right, this year, the Steve Kane Show. Good morning. You're on the air. What is your name? Where are you calling from?
Hello, good morning.
Yes, good morning.
Oh, this is Art from California.
Art from California. What's up, Art from California?
Well, I have about that judge. You are right. I hope they do not, what's the word? They do not
Confirm her.
confirm her. Yes, I really hope they don't, because you can clearly see that she pretty much don't have a clue of like you said. She talks about it and she's like, yeah, I did it. So what, you know?
Well, she, this is, as I was saying here, in 2022 America, there are very few taboos. And this is one of the few taboos left in our society, thankfully so. And it's a taboo that crosses party lines, language barriers, skin color, religion. There is no subculture of Americans, except the creepos themselves, who are anything other than disgusted by these people and want them locked up forever. And they need 50 U.S. senators. They need every Democrat in the Senate to vote to confirm her, plus Kamala Harris. I don't see them getting 50 United States senators to back her after what happened yesterday.
I really hope. You know, the thing that was getting lost in her mind, I guess it's okay, or is less of a crime because now they can access everything through the computer.
Correct. It's more easy to access, yes.
Yeah, I couldn't get that from, that was her reasoning, right?
Mm-hmm.
I just hope they don't confirm her
and she's got this very strange thing. She's got this very strange warped logic, both with the possessions of the disgusting pornography and of the heroin possession. She believes that if you possess heroin or possess this filth, that you're not victimizing anyone because you didn't actually bake the heroin or you didn't take the pornography. You know, that's what she was saying yesterday. That's not the case. If you're a consumer of this filth, okay, you are a party to the victimization of the people that are being victimized by it, whether it's this sick pornography or the drugs. You understand? Because you're creating a demand, you're creating a market for this. And when Hawley read her statements when handing out sentencing, there was the one in particular with the 18-year-old. He's the one, he had a bunch of the pornography, and it was of 8 and 11-year-old children. She said to him in the sentencing that she felt sorry for him and his family, and that she described the people in the whatever he was in possession of as his peers. An 18-year-old is not a peer of an 8 or an 11-year-old child. I'm sorry. I've just never seen anything like that. In my opinion, this was the most tragic and devastating hearing for any nominee for any office of the United States government before. I've never seen anything like what we saw yesterday.
I agree with you, and you know what? I just don't get why Democrats, how do they get away with, instead of looking at the person's qualifications, they look at color, and they keep getting away with it.
Yeah, qualifications, you know. Yeah.
Whether you're yellow, white, black, whatever it is, that shouldn't be. And look.
No, they do look at color when you're white. All right? They disqualify people for that. I got a story I'm going to talk about later. There's a school district, I can't remember where, I have an article I'll read through later. There's a school district that is going to offer different levels of punishment for white students as opposed to minority students. White students will receive harsher punishment than minority students. School board made a ruling. I'm going to talk about it later on the program. So no, liberals are very. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Louisiana.
Hey, Louisiana. Good morning.
Good morning, brother. How are you?
Well, I'm a little scared. I mean, we're going to have this sicko on the Supreme Court, maybe, Ketanji.
That's what I'm calling about. I work all day, so I didn't watch the hearing. But I watch different segments. I read, I saw everything this morning. Okay, where are you getting this from?
Getting what specifically?
That she's for child molester.
No. She went, okay. She had, well, I'm trying to tell you. I'm going to tell you. Okay, I got it from the confirmation hearing yesterday when senators went over the sentences she handed out to those who were in possession of child pornography. And this is the problem, okay? She had a whole series, in fact, every case, she had a large number of cases involving people that were in possession of child pornography, okay, who were found guilty in the court by a jury or whatever it was. They were found guilty. When she was handing out the sentencing, there are federal sentencing guidelines for certain crimes when someone's convicted that federal judges are not obligated to go by, but are recommended they go by. In each and every instance with these people that possessed child pornography, according to the court and the prosecutors, a large amount of child pornography, she gave him 3 months in prison and said that those who were depicted in his pornography, 8 and 11-year-old children committing sex acts, were the peers of the 18-year-old, that there wasn't that much age difference between them. That's where we got it. It was it all came out in the hearing yesterday.
I did not see that, so I'm not going to tell you. I'm not going to say you're lying.
Wesley,
I did not see
I'm not lying. I'm not happy to be talking about this.
What I'm saying is, by the sentencing guidelines, it has been proven those are not mandated, they're recommendations. And it has been proven. All this judges have came out and said that needs to be changed.
Not on this. Not when it involves child pornographers. You know, not when it involves child pornography.
Sir. Do you not understand? I hope they do change the rules for that. I hope they do change it. But just because, like I said, I saw this yesterday.
I thought you didn't see it. Now you're telling me you saw it. Which is it?
Did not just say I did not see it yesterday?
Okay, so you've not seen it. Okay, so you don't know what happened.
Let me finish.
Wesley,
I saw it when I got home last night.
I think Wesley.
Then I saw bits and pieces of it this morning, and then I did not see that part. I'm not going to say you're not lying. I did not see that part. But I'm not saying you're lying, but I did not see that part, and I think you are. I don't even know why you even, because she's going to be confirmed.
No, I don't think so. Not with this. I'm going to give you some. Excuse me. I'm going to give you some advice. I'm going to give you. Excuse me. I'm going to give you some. I'm racist.
Yeah, you do. Every morning you come on, you racist.
Yeah.
Every morning.
I race. Okay. Why? I want to. Excuse me. Yeah. Excuse me. I want to ask you a question. Explain to me, if I'm a racist, why my one and only child is black.
I wanted it myself.
Well, it doesn't make sense, does it?
I wanted that.
Does it make sense that a racist would have one child who is black? Does that make sense to you?
All the time.
Yeah, well, maybe it's because I'm not a racist. Have you thought about that one?
I wondered about it all the time. I always said, why does he have these views and he has a black daughter?
Because I'm not a racist.
And I said, okay, and I'll be like, okay, why?
So do you want to withdraw that? You called me a racist. Do you want to take that back and apologize?
No, I'm not.
Oh my goodness. Well, explain to me how a racist would be. Okay. Well, explain to me the logic in a racist having one child and that child is black. Explain that to me.
Because you may not realize, but you are racist.
Yeah. See, this is what. Okay, so you can't explain it. Here's your problem. First off, I'm going to give you some advice. About this hearing. Don't render an opinion unless you've seen and know what you're talking about, like in this hearing, okay? Like you did today.
Home all day, like you sit home all day and watch it.
Oh, I wish that's what I did. Now, you could watch highlights in the news, but you didn't. Here's the other thing. Here's the other thing.
And another thing too.
Yeah, okay, go ahead.
I love how that's your business. You support this man, but I love how you love drinking the Kool-Aid, Donald Trump.
Oh, the MAGA Kool-Aid? Absolutely. Trump's Kool-Aid is spectacular. I love it. I'm going to have a drink right after this call of it. I got a whole bottle of it here. But here's another thing. About you. Let me tell you. Oh, excuse me. Excuse me. Take a breath. You know, you've got what you've done. You know, you call me a racist, which is just absurd. It's stupid. Okay, and a racist do not have interracial families. Okay, I'm sorry to tell you. But here, oh yeah, they go out and they go out and adopt one child who's black. Give me a break. That makes no sense. And my child who's 23 years old. I know you don't want me to say what I'm going to say to you, but you've got a problem. When you lose an argument and you feel trapped, you throw out racist to try to shut it down. And what you were doing by throwing this out as a cowardly way to get out of an argument that you're losing, really, truly, you lost the argument when I said you're on the air. What you're doing is disrespecting people like John Lewis and Martin Luther King, who went up against real racists back in the day during the Democrat Jim Crow era.
Say, deep down, you may not realize you're a racist. You may not, subconsciously, you may not be one.
Oh, well, help me, give me an example of my racism.
Because I noticed this Anybody black, you go against them. You go anybody.
Oh, really? Everybody. Does that include my child?
I'm not. Now you may not be racist.
Oh, now I may not be racist. Okay.
We have some racist things.
Well, give me an example of racism from me.
You do it all the time when you talk about Harris, Vice President Harris. You talk, it looks like you talk about Ketanji. Disagreeing with someone who is not white is not racist. Okay, you know, if I were on the air saying an African American woman should not be vice president of the United States, that would be racist. But disagreeing with someone's politics has nothing to do with skin color. Or racist, bro.
But you can't give me an example of my racism.
Yeah.
Disagreeing with Kamala Harris is not racist. That's disagreeing with liberalism.
Every day.
Well, the reason that because we're in a fully integrated society, and people of all skin colors and backgrounds are at every level of office. So we're gonna talk about people that may be a woman, may be black, may be Indian, like Gandhi Indian, like Kamala Harris is also, because her mother was from India. It has nothing to do with skin color. We're just disagreeing with people, like, for example, Ketanji yesterday. My disagreement with her has nothing to do with her being an African American woman. My disagreement with her is that she's soft on kiddie pornographers. Okay? Yeah, well, you didn't watch the hearing, so you don't know. Hey, listen, appreciate the call. Let's take our break. 36 minutes after the hour. I'm Brian Craig. It's the Steve Kane Show. Back after this.
Attention seniors and those who care about them. How would you like to have instant access to a Medicare advocate at the touch of a button? You can for less than $1 a day with I Will Advocates. I Will Advocates will assist you with doctor appointment scheduling, pharmacy issues, billing problems, plan benefits, Medicare applications. They'll even help when you're in the hospital. I Will Advocate clients are family, and they go to bat for their family when you need them the most. Let them be your golden guardians. Contact I Will Advocates right now online at iwilladvocates.com or call.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome. Hey, Debbie, how you doing? If you're new here, make sure you subscribe. Steve Kane Show. Hold on.
954-345-1214. 954-345-1214.
We've got you covered. AM 1470,
Yeah.
FM 95.3, 96.9. South Florida's FM Money Talk Radio Network. WWNN, Pompano Beach.
Hello, this is Mike at Friendly Tire. I've been in business 30 years at the same location and offering great deals on new and used tires. I have many suppliers. Whatever car or truck you have, I can get you incredible deals on any tire. I also do tire repairs at very low prices. Give me a call. My number is 954-977-9445. I will give you a price over the phone on new and used tires. Again, my number is 954-977-9445. Thank you.
Dr. Matez here from the Biostation West Delray. Many of you are familiar with the famous erection injection, an extremely effective treatment for erectile dysfunction made popular right here on the Steve Kane Show. I'm here to tell you that the erection injection is just the tip of the iceberg when it comes to the extensive array of treatment options now available at the Biostation West Delray. Our custom compounded products yield combinations and dosages that increase the efficacy of Viagra and Cialis.
Oh, boy.
We also offer treatments that can correct the problem at its source, such as PRP and sound wave pulse therapies that restore your natural function. State-of-the-art testing and the most current treatment options all available in one place, the Biostation West Delray. If you want to correct your erectile problems once and for all, call us at 561-320-8893. That's 561-320-8893.
Attention seniors, protect yourself and your loved ones from losing your hard-earned assets to the government, attorneys, and greedy in-laws. You are invited to attend Attorney Barry Siegel's Living Trust Seminar. It's free and will be held Tuesday, April 12th from 2 to 3 p.m. at the South County Civic Center.
Steve Kane Show.
Delray Beach. All living trust plans are
Hold on.
created equally. Find out why at Larry Siegel's free Living Trust Seminar. To make your reservation for this free Living Trust Seminar, call the Siegel Law Group right now. Toll free 1-855-FLA-3782. 855-FLA-3782. Seating will be limited, so call now to reserve your seat. 1-855-352-3782. 1-855-352-3782.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for WW.
All right, welcome back, everyone. Callers on hold, stand by. 39 minutes after the hour, I'm Brian Craig. This is the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show on the radio since 1977. I've seen real racism. When I first came to Florida, I was a kid, and it was 1982. And I first lived in Florida, not here in beautiful sunny South Florida. I lived in a town kind of like in Central Florida called Okeechobee, Florida, which is the northern tip of Lake Okeechobee. And, old Democrat town, Democrat state at the time. This was before the great migration of conservatives to Florida, and we've been a Republican state since 1998. But back in those Democrat days, segregation was just still not really over for those people, and this was shocking to me coming from Columbus, Ohio. Back in 1982, 1981, in Okeechobee, Florida, black people couldn't go out at night. Oh, they could go out, but there were some consequences, and they weren't good. You would never see a black person out in a restaurant, nothing like this. Now Republicans, conservatives have taken over the state of Florida. There's been a mass migration of conservatives and rooted out those Democrats, and things are different now. Steve Kane, when he first came to Florida from New York, he went to middle school down in Miami. It was racially segregated. That was back in the Jim Crow Democrat-controlled days of the South and Florida. Those days are over. And a lot of people, like that last caller from Louisiana, don't want to accept that. All right, let's take some calls. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Good morning. Yes, you're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Coco from Illinois.
Coco from Illinois. Hey, what's going on? Coco from Illinois.
I want to say I've been listening to you for a while. There's nothing racist about you.
No.
That caller, whatever, like you said, you lost the argument. So there we go. I watched quite a bit of that hearing yesterday. And as parents, yes, we are watching something we didn't normally watch in the past because of what's been happening to our kids and us being locked down. No, I don't want critical race, and I don't like her definition that she doesn't know about critical.
Well, this is beyond critical race theory because critical race theory is important and it's going to be a big issue and it'll be in front of the Supreme Court. But yesterday, she broke a taboo. She is, to me, and I don't think I'm alone in this. She seems sympathetic to these possessors of child pornography, does she not?
Child pornography. Things our kids are being taught, and the fact that she don't know what a woman is. Got me.
Well, those are all bad, but the one that crosses party lines is this handing out these 3-month sentence to a guy in possession of child pornography in her state. That's a taboo that goes beyond political debate. The other things are a problem too, and that's what we'd be talking about if she wasn't so over the line. I don't believe she's going to get confirmed. I believe that the sentencing on those child pornographer possessors, she's doomed. She cannot get confirmed.
And against it too. I'm definitely praying against it too because it's basically like with her sentence, she re-victimized babies.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. She's crossed a line. There is no, that caller doesn't know about this because Joy Reid didn't talk about it last night. Shocker. But there is not one segment of our society that's law-abiding that is sympathetic to those people. Those are the worst of the worst.
That this nominee was nominated because somebody, and I'm not going to say who, y'all know who I'm talking about, is trying to get in front of the trouble that they're again.
You think it's a Hunter cover-up? Yeah. All right, take care. Coco from Illinois, thank you. Good morning, you're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Jeff from Maine.
Oh, hey, Jeff.
Hey, when you have a black daughter, and there's a white man on here says he married a black woman, and he has black children, and whenever he says anything against black, they come right up and call him a racist. And that is all the liberals have when they face and they cannot answer. They just so racist.
Yeah, there was years ago there was an incident here where Steve was called a racist, and it became a big news story. It became a big news story here in Florida, and Steve was on CNN, live on CNN in the middle of the day being interviewed about this. And he was being interviewed by a guy who's no longer on CNN. He lost an arm. Miles O'Brien was his name. And Steve was in the studio, in the CNN studio in Miami. I was in the green room, and he was being interviewed by this guy from New York, via satellite. And he's talking to Steve about all this. And then he says to Steve, he says, I want to show our viewers something from your website. And I got a little nervous because I'm the website guy. I didn't know what he was talking about. And it was a family picture of Steve, who has a black daughter and 2 black sons. And the CNN anchor said to Steve, he says, these people calling you a racist, have they seen this photograph of your diverse family? And he says, oh yeah, they've seen it, but they don't care. I mean, it was, it's stupid. And when someone hides behind racism like that, when they lose an argument, trivializes people like the great Martin Luther King and John Lewis. I know John Lewis had some problems later in life, but I met John Lewis once and was proud to shake the hand of a man who was handpicked by Martin Luther King to be a part of the civil rights movement and walked across that bridge in Selma, Alabama. And, John Lewis got his head bashed in by racist white Democrats as a freedom rider going into a bus station, and the whole history. And when you call someone a racist because they disagree on an issue with a person of color, that trivializes those who really were victims of racism, and of course the slaves of America's past too, who really were dealing with racism. It's disgusting. It's disgusting.
That woman called you a racist. She thinks she won the argument immediately, but your response was perfect when you said you lost the minute you called in.
Yeah.
The fact.
Well, with liberal white people who are liberal whites, many of them are racist. When someone black calls them a racist, liberal white people fall down on the floor, get in a fetal position, and start begging for forgiveness. I am a black parent. I have an interracial family. I have 1 child. Every grandchild I have and every descendant of mine will be a person of color, and that's a good thing. Now they may look back at the family album and see some pictures of their great-great-great-great-granddaddy in a MAGA hat, and maybe they'll call me a racist in the future. I don't know, with the way the history is being written, and they might get polluted after I'm gone, but, that's the way it is.
America is the great melting pot, and that's what makes us great. E pluribus unum, many one. We are one. We are Americans. It doesn't matter what color you are.
Now, getting back to the Supreme Court hearing yesterday, with the stuff on the kiddie pornography sentences, I don't think they can get the 50 Democrat votes in the Senate to confirm her. They need 50 votes plus Kamala. Now, of course, they'll get Kamala, But I don't think do you think they'll get 50 senators to vote to confirm her after that?
No, I don't, because her response on those sentencing for pedo crimes was it's inexcusable and undefendable.
Well, she tried to defend it with more sympathy. I mean, when she said that possessing it, that they didn't actually victimize them because they didn't make whatever videos or photographs or whatever. If you are a consumer of something, you're creating a demand for it. Like I have my iPad here. I am guilty of being part of the demand for iPads because I use it. Right? You know what I mean? So if you're in possession of something, it could be drugs. She said the same thing about the guy with the heroin. Or the pornography, you are victimizing those people because you are creating a consumer demand for it. It's because of you that it's being made, that those people are being victimized. And she didn't even know at that level. She was not even familiar with the Dred Scott decision. I mean, Dred Scott, for those that don't know, that's okay. You didn't go to law school. You're not getting nominated for the Supreme Court. But I learned about this in elementary school. Dred Scott was a guy an escaped slave, and I think it was Illinois, and it was in the 1850s, but 57 comes to mind. And he went to the Supreme Court saying that he and his family were free because they had lived in the state for 3 or 4 years, whatever the time was when a slave would be free. And the Supreme Court ruled, no, you are not a freeman. And Dred Scott said that black people are not U.S. citizens and do not have the right of U.S. citizens. That's a big case that everyone knows and everyone learns about in this country. And she went to Harvard. She's on the federal bench, nominated for the Supreme Court, and she was not even familiar with that? She is not. So this idea that she's qualified, she is not, forgetting about those sentences, to not be familiar with something like that, she is not qualified to be on the Supreme Court. That's common knowledge, Dred Scott, in this country. Common knowledge.
When she went on and on and on trying to defend her position on those light sentences for those child sex crimes, there is no way anybody in the Senate or House could defend that. How could they?
Not 50 of them. I believe that her nomination will be withdrawn by Biden. He's not going to publicly do it. Maybe he's going to give her the opportunity to, spend time with her family. But I'm telling you, the Republicans. The Republicans could impeach her next year from her federal bench over this. I don't think they're going to let this go. This is a sick woman. And if somehow there's some miracle for them and she gets on the Supreme Court, she can be impeached on the Supreme Court bench over this by a Republican Congress next year too. This is not something that's going to go away. She's got a sickness, this woman.
Yeah, but hopefully it won't come to her getting seated on that bench, because she in no shape, form, or manner deserves a position on this.
Well, there was one thing that the senators did not bring up that I was curious about these light sentences for the child porn possessors. And there was one question that and maybe you all out there have the answer to this and it came up elsewhere. I was very curious in these cases if they were white or black.
Good point, Brian.
I don't know. They might have been a mix. They might have been all white. I don't know. I think that'd be an interesting thing. To find out. If anybody has the answer to that, call me. All right, Jeff, take care. I got to run for our last break of the first hour. Callers on hold, stand by. It's the Steve Kane Show. My name's Brian Craig. Back after this.
Hi, Tom Laporta here from Laporta Contracting, Roofing, and Building Restoration. We survived the
see, I was right, Woodsy. I said 57, didn't I?
Building envelope ready for the next season. Laporta Contracting installs all types of roofs, from asphalt, clay, and concrete, standing metal seam, flat roofs, and slate tile systems. Our building restoration offers complete envelope protection to include siding, stucco, concrete restoration, impact windows and doors, weatherproofing, and painting. Laporta Contracting serves single-family, multifamily, HOAs, and commercial properties. Call Laporta Contracting today for a free evaluation and estimate, and go to our website to see our team and past customer videos at LaportaContracting.com.
The video's working, Jessica.
954-604-4602. That number again is 954-604-4602.
You guys tell Jessica to close out her app and reopen it.
The Steve Kane Show.
Do you suffer from neuropathy? Maybe you do and you don't even know it. Do you have numbness, pain, burning, or tingling?
By the way, I am on Gitter and Truth Social at Real Brian Craig. On Gitter and Truth Social. Real Brian Craig on both Gitter and Truth Social. Follow me there, guys. I will follow you back.
No-charge consultation and say goodbye to your neuropathy symptoms. 754-222-6642. Online, lighthousemedicalcenter.com. When you need drug or STD testing, you want to keep it private. After all, that's no one's business but yours. At Any Lab Test Now of Coral Springs, they guarantee the lowest prices on all of their thousands of tests, and all of their testing is completely confidential. Drug and STD testing start at just $49.
There's no problems. A lot of times trolls claim to have problems with video and audio to try to get people to leave the stream or get someone to stop a stream. It's a very common thing. So you got to be very careful when people start saying that. Yeah, you know, Dred Scott, 1857, yeah, I confirmed it during the break. And how did I have that recollection in my mind? Something I learned like in 4th or 5th grade, hormone replacement pellet therapy from Dr. Matez at the biostation. You know, one of the things that hormone replacement pellet therapy does is restore your cognitive abilities. It really does. It makes you sharper, makes your memory like it used to be when you were young. It's absolutely amazing. On top of the fact that it makes you feel younger, look younger, returns your sex drive, your ability to have sex if you're suffering from sexual dysfunction, returns all those things to you. Women suffering from menopause, all the signs and symptoms of menopause completely stopped 100% and reversed. Night sweat's gone, mood swings gone. And women, you get your sex drive back too. That's true. Now, with Dr. Matez, it's a completely free consultation, but you got to mention you heard about him on the Steve Kane Show. All right, and here's the number for the biostation, 561-320-8893. 561-320-8893. Make sure to mention the Steve Kane Show to take advantage of that free consultation. Others have to pay for that consultation. 561-320-8893.
About pedophiles.
Now, they you know, National Public Radio can say whatever they want. They're a lunatic fringe. You know, they've got to get 50 United States senators, which include Sinema and Manchin, to vote in favor of this. They need 50 senators, their entire group, plus Kamala Harris. Now, Kamala Harris will do whatever she's told, right? Willie Brown's girlfriend there. But they're not going to get it. NPR can spin all day. You're not going to get 50 United States senators to say that those sentences are anything other than disgusting.
Well, as long as they're not being called a racist afterwards, you know, saying that that's why they didn't nominate her. She's no good. There's no.
This goes beyond. This is one of the few. You know, I was talking the other day. One thing that goes beyond all divisions in this country are high gas prices. Nobody likes them. Jews and Palestinians in America unite over against high gas prices. You know what I mean? It's that crazy. You know, Black Lives Matter and white supremacists unite together against high gas prices. There are very few things that unite the country. Being light on child pornographers is a taboo that even criminals are not in support of. There's only one type of person that I've ever seen that's sympathetic to those types of people, and that's, you know, pedos and child pornographers. And she has crossed a taboo by giving out light sentences. And one thing that everyone also agrees on, this isn't like critical race theory where there's a debate. Everyone agrees that once those guys get out of jail, the first thing they're going to do is reoffend. They all reoffend. They've got a sickness. No, she's done.
I certainly hope so. I mean, but I wasn't looking at her seat as that seat there as a less.
Disapproval of the lowest pond scum in American society. She let one of these guys go with a 3-month sentence. He was in possession of a large amount of
scared me that they're going to go after Clarence Thomas and his wife.
Yes.
I mean, that scares me, because then, you know, they changed the balance a little bit. This seat I wasn't considering as a loss.
If she is 50, 51 years old with that kind of view, can you imagine what else she's wackadoodle on? This would be a big loss. Listen, Biden's going to get a pick. And they're going to be a radical leftist who supports critical race theory and non-gender restrooms and stuff like that. That's a given. This goes beyond that. This is
ahead of time. They knew this about her. Maybe it was just to fulfill what he promised that he was going to pick a black woman.
I'm sure. I think her opinion on these possessors of child pornography is not common among black liberal women. I think he could find another judge. She is in trouble. She very well could lose the federal judgeship she currently has when the Republicans take over Congress. They could impeach her over this. She could be impeached.
If the Republicans are strong enough, that's what they should do. Either way,
it
doesn't matter at this point. They should have those hearings and show that we're not going to play with these, you know, pedophile lovers. I hate to say it, but you know, that is, like you said, one of the worst crimes. And for her to take that stance and give everybody easy sentences,
yeah,
you know,
She was light on crime also. So
yeah, this is different than being light on crime. This is, there's a debate. Like, for example, there's a debate in sentencing guidelines versus marijuana and crack possession versus powder cocaine. There's debates over sentencing guidelines, like sentencing guidelines for crack much more severe than powder cocaine. There's a debate on that. Okay, people going to prison for long prison sentences for marijuana, which is legal in most of the country now. There's a legitimate debate over that, politically, socially. There is no debate on possessors of child pornography. There's no debate. There's no debate. They will all reoffend. They're all sickos. They should go away forever. And she gave that's right. They have to have special prisons for these lowlife. And these were victims. The children were 8 to 11. These victims were younger than Jeffrey Epstein's victims. Jeffrey Epstein victims were children too, but they were like 16 or 17. These are 8 and 11-year-old children. You understand what I mean? So she was giving light sentences to people that did things worse, as hard as it than Jeffrey Epstein.
Well, at least,
if Epstein was up in front of her, he, could you imagine if Jeffrey Epstein was up before Ketanji in her court? Oh my goodness. He'd be alive and a free man today.
Yeah. Well, at least we know this now, and this is what the hearings are about. Well, regardless of what the Democrats say, we got the truth came out, and now the people have information to help decide whether or not they should go.
Mm-hmm. All right, listen, I got to run for a break, but good call. Thank you so much. Definitely contributed some interesting dialogue. I'm Brian Craig. It's the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show on the radio since 1977, celebrating 45 years this year on the radio waves of Florida, the Steve Kane Show. My name's Brian Craig. Back after this.
You covered AM 1470, FM 95.3, 96.9. South Florida's FM Money Talk Radio Network, WWNN, Pompano Beach.
Attention seniors and those who care about them.
If you're new here, make sure you subscribe, and everyone please like the video and click that notification bell, please. Steve Kane Show.
Clients are family, and they do that for their family when you need them the most. Let them be your golden guardians. Contact I Will Advocates right now online at iwilladvocates.com or call them directly 954-345-1214. No matter where you're located throughout the state of Florida or nationwide, 954-345-1214. 954-345-1214.
All right, be right back, guys.
When it comes to auto repair, you want a garage that you can trust. Someone that will only do work on your car when your car needs work. Introducing Champagne Automotive in Boca Raton, the latest sponsor of the Steve Kane Radio Show. Tom called in on the radio to tell us about his experience with Champagne Automotive.
Hi, this is Tom from Tamarack.
Hey, Tom from Tamarack, what's up?
I just want to tell you guys something. I spent the last 2 days trying to get brakes for my car. I was leaving the house yesterday to go try another place that had a lower price. They wanted $800 for brakes, and that advertisement came on for Champagne. I live in Western Tamarack. I said, let me take a drive up there. Well, I was almost blown over how friendly, honest, old school these people are.
Old school, that's really the term that really describes it.
But let me tell you, the guy I gone to previously won $800. He says, well, you need to take your power steering fluid, and Ed, the owner, put the car up in the lift, pulled the wheels, he says, you don't need brakes, and I about fell over.
Wow, well, tell me the end of the story, you got me hooked.
So it wasn't that your vehicle was misdiagnosed at the other place, you were dealing with a crook.
Oh, absolutely. This guy wanted to sell me everything but a washing machine. I don't want that.
Now, this is our new sponsor.
Steve Kane Show.
Wanted for a long time to have
Steve Kane Show.
auto repair shop. When it comes to auto repair,
Hold on. Turn off the radio in the back, okay? Hold on.
Defined as an advertisement because most are like this guy you were dealing with the other day over in Tamarack, crooks. And we found Champagne Automotive. Ed, who's the owner, to listen to the program. They come very, very highly recommended. So I appreciate you calling in and telling us the story. Now, Champagne Automotive, they're in Boca.
I don't understand. Where am I here?
West of Dixie
you covered. AM 1470, FM 95.3, 96.9. South Florida's FM Money Talk Radio Network. WWNN, Pompano Beach.
Attention seniors, protect yourself and your
Good morning, everyone. If you're just joining us, good morning to you. Make sure you guys like the video and subscribe if you are not already subscribed, and click that notification bell.
Tuesday, April 12th from 2 to 3 p.m. at the South County Civic Center in Delray Beach. All living trust plans are not created equally. Find out why at Attorney Barry Siegel's free Living Trust Seminar. To make your reservation for this free Living Trust Seminar, call the Siegel Law Group right now. Toll free 1-855-FLA-3782. 855-FLA-3782. Seating will be limited, so call now to reserve your seat. 1-855-352-3782. 1-855-352-3782.
Well, I was talking earlier, trolls go into live streams, not just mine. A lot of live streams. They all complaining of audio, video, trying to get people to shut down their stream or try, I monitor it here. Welcome, welcome. Hour number 2 has begun. My name is Brian Craig. 6 minutes after the hour. It's Wednesday morning, March 23rd, 2022. If you're on hold, stand by. We will go back to the phones very shortly at 1-888-GO-CANE, 1-888-465-2631. And we're talking about what I am telling you is the most disastrous confirmation hearing for any federal office, not just Supreme Court, any federal office that I've ever seen. I believe Ketanji will be withdrawn from this nomination to the Supreme Court by Biden. They'll allow her to do it on her own. There is no way that they're going to get 50. They need 50 United States senators. They need 50 United States senators to say yes to her. Then they got, Willie Brown's girlfriend. They're not going to get 50 United States senators to confirm after yesterday. What I've been talking about in the first hour is this is beyond a political difference of, usually what you find is the Constitution relevant in today's society, to the nominee? Is it a living document? Even this thing with critical race, these are political differences where there's a debate in this country. There is no debate over what she did to these possessors of child pornography. No debate over that. It is a taboo that crosses all party lines in our society, and the only people that are sympathetic to those are people that are doing it, right? Even criminals don't endorse this type of low-life behavior. It is over for her. It's over for her. And if she somehow finds her way on the Supreme Court, a Republican Congress next year will impeach her. She may find herself impeached from her federal judgeship that she's already got for life. Because what has come out was not generally known. This came out during the vetting process by the Republicans, and people are pretty upset about it. She is not qualified to be on any court. She is not even qualified to be an attorney, frankly, defending people with her warped mental viewpoint on this. She is not qualified. I'm sorry. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning. Sorry, Doug.
Oh, hey, Doug.
100%, I agree with you. I'm hoping that you're right, but man, I'm thinking that these damn Democrats, knowing that they're going to get thrown out of Congress, but pretty much the control, they may say, well, it's our last chance to get somebody that we like up there, so we might as well put it in them. And then when you're saying about impeaching her, how can you impeach her? She didn't let him off. She gave him a sentence, a life sentence, terrible life sentence, but she gave him something. So that's going to be a tough thing to get her out, I think.
Mm-hmm. No, I'm going to do... Hey, by the way, thanks for the call. No, you're absolutely incorrect. She's gone way over the line here. Let me play some of the audio. Here's Senator Ted Cruz, who was brilliant yesterday. Senator Ted Cruz.
United States versus Chazen.
See.
The prosecutor
We got
asked
trolls
for
there.
78
Look,
to
I'm
97
watching
months.
on YouTube myself.
You imposed 28 months. 28 months
Hey.
is a 64% reduction. In United States versus Cooper, the prosecutor asked for 72 months. You imposed 60 months. That was a 17% reduction. In United States versus Downs, the prosecutor asked for 70 months. You imposed 60. That was a 14% reduction. In United States versus Hawkins, the prosecutor asked for 24 months. You imposed 3 months. That was an 88% reduction. In United States versus Savage, the prosecutor asked for 49 months. You imposed 37. That was a 24% reduction. In United States versus Stewart, the prosecutor asked for 97 months. You imposed 57. That was a 41% reduction. Every single case, 100% of them, when prosecutors came before you with child pornography cases, you sentenced the defenders to substantially below, not just the guidelines, which are way higher, but what the prosecutor asked for on average of these cases, 47.2% less. Now, you said you made sure the voice of the children was heard.
There you go. This is just beautiful, devastating. There is no defending this. And then Ted Cruz asked her if the children who were victims, if justice was served for them, were they heard? Listen to this. This continues. This is Ted Cruz with her.
As you said, the guideline was based originally on a statutory scheme and on directives, specific directives by Congress at a time in which more serious child pornography offenders were identified based on the volume, based on the number of photographs that they received in the mail. And that made total sense before, when we didn't have the internet, when we didn't have
See, now this is her attempt at defending her sick decisions.
Distribution. But the way that the guideline is now structured, based on that set of circumstances, is leading to extreme disparities in the system.
Wow. Did you hear that? There are disparities in the system. She is talking about possessors of child pornography. And what she's saying is, because of the internet, it's easier to get. So it's not like the old days when they had to seek it out in back alleys.
When we didn't have distribution. But the way that the guideline is now structured, based on that set of circumstances, is leading to extreme disparities in the system, because it's so easy for people to get volumes of this kind of material now by computers. So it's not doing the work of differentiating who is a more serious offender in the way that it used to. So the commission has taken that into account, and perhaps even more importantly, courts are adjusting their sentences in order to account for the changed circumstances. But it's nothing about the court's view of the seriousness of this offense.
Okay, and this goes beyond her time on the court, because remember, she wrote a paper for the Harvard Law Review when she was in law school saying that the justice system discriminates against sex offenders. Too harsh, discriminates against them. And that was back in the early 90s, before we had the internet like we have today. So she has a lifetime, an adult lifetime, of holding these positions. And now she's trying to hide, well, no, I'm trying to deal with this new thing, that it's more accessible. Then explain the paper in the Harvard Law Review before the internet was in its current form. This is nonsense. She has a lifetime sympathy as an adult. As a grown woman. Law school, keep in mind, in law school, you're over the age of 22. Right? Because you've gone through your 4 years of college, your undergrad. So she has an adult lifetime history of being sympathetic to these people. This is not something new. There's no excuse for this. There's no debate. It's a taboo. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
This is Bill from Sanford.
Hey, Bill. What's up?
I'd like to know where the vetting is when they first become a federal judge, because she had to go up the ladder. And now, because she's on the Supreme Court, this was important for the first time she became a federal judge.
Well, because these rulings are her time on the federal bench. These are federal rulings she made as a federal judge that they went over yesterday. She didn't...
From regular...
Well, maybe you made a point there. Yeah, we got to get a time frame on that. I don't have the answer to that. You know, when it comes to a lower level federal judge, not much attention is paid to it, really, frankly, right?
She still had the law review.
Yeah, I understand, but people don't pay attention to those too much. Supreme Court, they do. You're right. This should have come out then, but it didn't. It's out now. What do you think? You think?
Not be on. She should not be on the federal.
Well, we would think she shouldn't be on the bench. You and I would think she shouldn't be on the bench if it wasn't for this. Right, because of her other background, critical race theory and other things. However, do you think they're going to get 50 Democrat senators to vote yes to confirm her with this? I don't think so.
I hope not, but...
They need 50.
No.
I don't think so. I don't think so.
Problem with Gitmo.
Well, that's common with Democrats. That's common with Democrats. Being soft on child pornographers is... There's no debate over that. That's a taboo. There's a debate. I don't agree with that side of it, but there's a debate about Guantanamo Bay. You saw between Ted Cruz and one of the Democrats yesterday. This is different than that. Calling Bush a war criminal? Hell, I call him a war criminal. For his lies, him and Cheney, to get us into Iraq. You know? They are war criminals. You know, just like Putin with Iraq. But there's debate over those things. This is beyond debate. This is not a partisan thing. She's got a sickness.
It'll be interesting to see what the West Virginia and Arizona senators do on this case.
Manchin and Sinema. They only need one senator. There's no way I cannot see if they can get 50 Democrat senators to vote to confirm after this. I would be, I mean, that would be a sad day for this country, and it would become an election issue. If they get 50 senators, okay, to confirm her and she gets on the court, it will be an election issue during the midterms and the presidential race to impeach her and remove her from the bench. It can be done. Federal judges can be impeached.
Opportunity for the Republicans to pick up more Senate seats.
Yeah, but I don't want that benefit. I don't want her on the court. This is bad. She needs to be off the regular federal bench she's on. She needs to be off. She really, frankly, needs to have her law license revoked. I mean, this is crazy talk. I'm not kidding. No, this is beyond any of this.
Because what Cruz said was this was not the maximum that the prosecutors recommended.
This was below the minimum sentencing guidelines. Below. She gave one of them 3 months.
And 100%.
Take care. Thanks for the call. All right, yeah. All right, 19 minutes after the hour, and I made the announcement yesterday. This is very exciting, and they've done this for Mother's Day. Mike Lindell, the Thomas Edison of sleep, the inventor of the MyPillow, the great Mike Lindell, has offered, for those of you that are listeners of this program, using our promo code KANE at checkout, KANE, 30% off the 3-inch MyPillow mattress topper. And this is the thickest mattress topper that Mike Lindell makes, and it's the mattress topper that I sleep on every night. 30% off the MyPillow 3-inch mattress topper, and you get 2 free MyPillows with it. Isn't that absolutely amazing? With our promo code KANE at checkout, KANE. It will change your life, this mattress topper. You know, it's made up of 3 layers, okay? Layer 1, this is the 3-inch MyPillow mattress topper. Yeah, that's right. 30% off and 2 free MyPillows with it with the promo code KANE. Layer 1 is the MyPillow patented foam. It's a solid piece of foam, provides superior support and durability. Layer 2 is transitional foam that provides optimal comfort, evenly distributes your body weight, and helps relieve pressure points. That's why my wife's back pain disappeared. Layer 3 is a cover that's made of phase change material that keeps your body temperature regulated throughout the night. The cover is a zippered, removable cover that is washable and dryable. That's right. The 4 corner straps hold it in place. It does not move. Believe me, I've had it for a year next month. It also comes with a 60-day money-back guarantee, now that you're going to need that, a 10-year warranty, and made right here in the United States. The 3-inch MyPillow mattress topper, which will change your life. I'm here to tell you, it's changed mine. I sleep the whole night through, and it's been a major life changer for me. Sleeping the whole night through, waking up when my alarm clock goes off. Never did that before I had the 3-inch MyPillow mattress topper. 30% off, and you get 2 free MyPillows, but you got to use our promo code KANE at checkout, K-A-N-E, at MyPillow.com. This makes a great gift for yourself and for Mother's Day, for the mom in your life, your mother, your grandmother, your wife, and the MyPillow 3-inch mattress topper comes in every size mattress there is. You can also order by phone, 1-800-716-4879. 1-800-716-4879. Promo code KANE, K-A-N-E.
Brian Craig here. You've heard Steve Kane talk about the great job Tom Laporta at Laporta
Steve Kane Show.
on his new roof.
Steve Kane Show.
John from Wellington.
Hold on.
Regular callers. He just had his roof repaired by Laporta Contracting, and he wanted to share his experience.
Thanks to the Steve Kane Show, my roof repairs were just completed by Laporta Contractors. They were fast, professional, and the cost of the repairs was very reasonable. I had 4 sections of roof repaired, and upon initial inspection, they were honest and told me that my roof was good and I didn't need a new one. I called many roofers, and they were all scammers. They all wanted to put on a new roof, and they said they wouldn't repair what I had. Thanks, Brian. Another fantastic sponsor.
Wow, that's an amazing testimonial from John in Wellington. Tom Laporta at Laporta.
If you're new here, make sure you subscribe. Everyone, please like the video, and you can call in live. I have the number pinned at the top of the chat if you want to call in live, 1-888-465-2631. 888-465-2631.
LaportaContracting.com.
Traveling, you need a COVID test? Maybe you need a COVID test for work or school. Stop by Any Lab Test Now of Boca or Any Lab Test Now of Coral Springs. They offer all the COVID testing panels you need at the lowest prices, including the antibody test. Results in 15 minutes. Any Lab Test Now of Boca is located in the Sandalwood Plaza, where Western Beef is, south of Palmetto Park Road and north of Hillsboro on the east side of 441 State Road 7. Call 561-237-5009. Any Lab Test Now of Coral Springs is located on the southeast corner of University Drive in Ramblewood, near the Coral Square Mall in Coral Springs. Call 954-906-5983. Make sure to tell them you heard about them on the Steve Kane Show. Listen to the Steve Kane Show on radio. Just search for W.
Good morning. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yes, this is Sandra calling from Indiana.
Sandra from Indiana. What's on your mind?
Yes, I agree with you. To me, any of the senators that have any morals or have children would not vote for her, and that these people that do this to children, especially men, should be chemically or surgically castrated.
Well, that doesn't even work. You know, they've done studies where they have castrated people both literally and chemically, and these people, and they still offend. They're incurable. They have a sickness. They all reoffend. All of them. 100%. You know? And you don't have to have children, see, you know, to be against child pornography.
But, like her, with what she said yesterday, because I did listen to a lot of her statements she made. What if it was her children that were done that?
See, no one's getting to the heart of the issue here in these hearings. There's two things here. One I talked about earlier. I was very interested in getting a racial background on these sentences. Were they black, white defendant? I don't know. I'd like to know. But Steve and I were talking about this on the program yesterday. So she has had a sympathy for these people her entire adult life, going back to law school. Okay, so this isn't something that's new. This is, you know, somehow there's something in her life. She has a connection to someone who has a background similar to these people. There's something about it where she relates to them. What it is, I don't know, or who it is, we have no idea. But there's something off about this whole thing.
Saying is, she has children. She, if anything has happened to her children by a pedophile or whatever, she would want the highest level of.
Well, that yeah, well, of course, you know. Listen, even the most strong opponents of the death. I'm opposed to the death penalty. Might surprise some of you. I'm pro life, but I'm opposed to the death penalty. You know, I'm Catholic. You know, I don't worry about it too much. But you know, there's other things to advocate for. You know, because I'm pro life. That's more important than the death penalty. But even people that make their entire life about being opposed to the death penalty, if someone in their family's killed, they'll want them executed. That's not really a fair argument. You know what I mean? Even the strongest gun control nut wants a gun if there's a home invasion. You know what I mean? With their family at home. So that, you know, there's no atheist in foxhole kind of thing. So that's not a. There's more going on with this woman, because when she gave her defense, I could tell by her body language and facial expressions, she doesn't understand why they're giving her a hard time. She has no clue. She doesn't understand.
That's how I took it yesterday too.
And that's why I say she has a sickness. Because a lot of times people will do something, they can say, you know what, reflecting back, I was wrong about that. But no. And this isn't like if there was an isolated case where she thought, well, you know what, this guy may not have been guilty, but he got convicted, so I gave him a lighter sentence. That's not the way it is. This is a pattern with all these cases, right? This isn't like an isolated case where there were questions of guilt or anything. And Hawley, when he read back her statements that she made to defendants after they were convicted, the one guy who was 18 that she said she felt sorry for him and his family. Can you imagine? And she described the children in his collection of pornography that he was arrested with as his peers, because he was 18. He was 18. The victims were 8 and 11. Those are an 18-year-old man is not a peer to an 8-year-old child or an 11-year-old child.
That's for sure. That's for sure.
So we're in a whole new area. I'm telling you, she will not be confirmed. It is not possible for her to be confirmed.
These gentlemen do have to be segregated in prison because they have actually been killed before by other...
Yeah, criminals don't even support this. I mean, that's how taboo this is. Violent criminals. Even someone who's a serial rapist of adults doesn't approve of those guys. You understand what I mean? This is one of a... We don't have many taboos in America anymore, but this is one that we have. And this is a taboo that crosses every demographic except those who are involved in that sick, twisted life.
Especially, that's why we need the southern border closed.
Well, I don't want the southern border closed because I like to go to Mexico. I've been to Mexico a bunch of times. It's a nice place. But I don't want uncontrolled... But you know what? You know what I need when I go to Mexico? Do you know what I'm required to bring with me? And I'm only going to Mexico... You know, we take our listener cruises and we go to Mexico for the day, you know? Do you know what I have to bring with me to go to Mexico?
Your passport?
Correct. I have to bring my passport. I can't go. I can't go without my passport. And, yeah, and I'm just going to hang out to have a couple beers and check out some Mayan ruins and things like that, and I still have to have a passport.
I went to Cancun, and I only had to have my birth certificate.
How'd you get to Cancun? How'd you get to Cancun?
That was back in the 90s.
Oh, that was a long time ago. No, you can't You cannot board an airplane or a cruise ship without a passport to go to Mexico. They won't let you. You got to have the passport to leave. Yeah, absolutely. And guess what? You know what they do when I came back from Mexico? Do you know what I had to do?
Show your passport.
I had to show my passport. Yeah, that's right. I had to show my passport. Every time I've been to Mexico, I needed a passport to go. And when I returned, the government asked me for my passport.
When I moved here from Virginia to get my driver's license, I had to actually get my marriage certificate from 1985 to prove the name change when I got married in 1985 to get my driver's license.
Yeah, I had to do that with my wife. You know, when she renewed her driver's license, we had to go get the marriage certificate, which we couldn't find. Had to go to the courthouse. It took a few weeks to get it, or they were going to put her maiden name on a driver's license. Yeah, but you just walk across the border. You're whoever you say you are. Your name is whatever you say it is, and you're also as old as you say you are. A lot of these guys, they're in their 30s and 40s and claim to be 15 years old. So they get even more protections, yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
It's crazy. But this is different. You know, with Ketanji Brown Jackson here, this is beyond these other things. There's a debate in our society on. There is no debate over this stuff. This is beyond. This is a taboo. There's no debate. There's a debate over critical race theory. There's a debate over sentencing guidelines for drug offenses. There's a debate over the southern border. There's a debate over all this stuff. There's not a debate over that. And that's why she's done.
There's no debate over child pornography.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, they won't let you leave without the passport on a cruise ship.
It's cut and dry.
I've been there like 4 times.
You put them in jail.
Yep. Mm-hmm. All right. Hey, listen, appreciate the call, all right? Thanks so much. All right, it's 32 minutes after the hour. You are listening to Florida's longest-running radio show, The Steve Kane Show. On the radio since 1977, The Steve Kane Show celebrating 45 years on the radio this year. That's right. Crazy, isn't it? Oh, don't forget, this is going to be the second week this week. Saturday at noon, right after Dr. Lemaski's show. By the way, Jerry, I heard your call to Lemaski on Saturday. Dr. Lemaski is on from 11 to noon, and it started this last week, and of course it'll be every week, at noon on Saturdays, right after Dr. Lemaski on our radio station. Al Knight and his new show, check that out on all of our radio stations, iHeartRadio, the TuneIn app. However you listen to this program, you can catch Dr. Lemaski at 11, followed by Al Knight at noon. We'll take our break and be back.
Covered AM 1470, FM 95.3, 96.9. South Florida's FM Money Talk Radio Network. WWNN, Pompano Beach.
Do you suffer from neuropathy? Maybe you do and you don't even know it. Do you have numbness, pain, burning, or tingling in your hands and feet? Muscle weakness, loss of balance, muscle twitching? Are you not sleeping? Does it feel like pins and needles in your hands and feet? Maybe you have no feeling at all. The symptoms can make life unbearable, but there is help at the Lighthouse Medical Center. Call 754-222-6642 for a no-charge consultation and say goodbye to your neuropathy symptoms. 754-222-6642. Online, lighthousemedicalcenter.com.
Hi, Tom Laporta here.
Steve Kane Show.
Contracting, roofing, and building restoration. We survived the 2021 hurricane season. Now it's time to get your building envelope ready for the next season. Laporta Contracting installs all types of roofs, from asphalt, clay, and concrete, standing metal seam, flat roofs, and slate tile systems. Our building restoration offers complete envelope protection to include siding, stucco, concrete restoration, impact windows and doors, weatherproofing, and painting. Laporta Contracting serves single-family, multifamily, HOAs, and commercial properties. Call Laporta Contracting today for a free evaluation and estimate, and go to our website to see our team and past customer videos at laportacontracting.com. Our number is 954-604-4602. That number again is 954-604-4602. And thanks for listening to the Steve Kane Show.
Attention seniors, protect yourself and your loved ones from losing your hard-earned assets to the government, attorneys, and greedy in-laws. You are invited to attend Attorney Barry Siegel's Living Trust Seminar. It's free and will be held Tuesday, April 12th from 2 to 3 p.m. at the South County Civic Center in Delray Beach. All living trust plans are not created equally. Find out why at Attorney Barry Siegel's free Living Trust Seminar. To make your reservation for this free Living Trust Seminar, call the Siegel Law Group right now. Toll free 1-855-FLA-3782. 855-FLA.
Good morning, everyone. If you're new, make sure you subscribe, all right? I see you, Debbie. Steve Kane Show.
1-855-352-3782.
Yeah, hold on.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for WWN.
All right, we're back. We're talking about this very twisted nominee of Biden's. You know, Mike Pence, if he were nominated for the Supreme Court, Mike Pence would have an easier time getting 50 Democrat votes than Ketanji here, in my opinion, after yesterday's events. All right, let's go back to our phones at 1-888-GO-KANE-1. 888-465-2631. It's a toll-free call from anywhere. Good morning, you're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning, Brian. It's Chaplain Jethro.
Oh, hey, Chaplain Jethro. How you doing?
Well, not bad. I'm really steamed right now. Really steamed. I cannot believe this woman ever got on the federal bench. But knowing Obama and George Soros, I got her on there all right. But what really has got me upset is the fact that she is so light on pedophiles. I have grandchildren. I have a great-grandchild. And she's confirmed this is going to open up the door for these pedophiles to attack any child in the country.
Yeah, and she really was like almost an advocate for them. She was talking about, you know, like I say, all the way back in law school, she wrote that paper in law school that the justice system was biased against sex offenders, which goes even beyond the kid ones. It goes beyond anyone who commits a sexual offense. This is insane. I've never seen anything like. I don't think she's going to make it on the court, Jethro. What do you think?
I hope she doesn't. I got a plea for everybody out there that's listening today. Call your senators and burn the lines. This woman cannot be confirmed.
Even your Democrats, they need 50 Democrat senators to say yes to this. No way. Not after yesterday. Plus Kamala. So they don't have any wiggle room here. I don't see Sinema and Manchin voting to confirm this. No way.
Neither do I, and I hope they don't, because if they know what's good for them, if they confirm this woman, everybody's going to look at them at the election time and say, that's it for you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, if you vote to confirm her, this isn't like political rhetoric talking points. If you vote to confirm her on the court, you're saying that child pornographers are discriminated against in our justice system. And nobody agrees with that except the pedos themselves. I mean, this is the only other. I've only heard one person on television talk like you know, that the system was unfair to pedophiles. We had a weatherman that was a very good meteorologist during hurricane season in Miami, Bill Kamal, and he tried to meet a young child off the internet and got arrested and went to prison. And he did an interview from jail. And he was talking about how society is judging people like him who love in different ways and all this stuff. It was like bizarre. And he was sitting in his prison uniform in prison over a conviction trying to meet like an 11, 12-year-old kid. You know, I've never seen something. I've never seen. And when she answered, she doesn't understand why they are giving her grief.
Well, I'll tell you,
Steve Kane Show.
County, where I live, they had
Steve Kane Show.
big
Hey,
sex trafficking ring here.
Mm-hmm.
The people that were involved just absolutely turned my stomach. I knew who they were, and I just cannot believe if this judge ever was on the bench here in Genesee County, she'd let these people go.
Mm-hmm.
Not right.
Yeah. You know, this was many years ago. And when this happened, I told this story on the air. This was many years ago when we were at another radio station, when we were on the old 1400 AM, those that go back to the old WFTL, I used to be on the air live from 3 to 6 a.m. and I stopped off at a I told this story all the time back then, and I used to go to Dunkin' Donuts and get my coffee in the morning at 2:30 in the morning on the way to the radio station. And this was in Fort Lauderdale on Sunrise Boulevard, people, across from the old Peaches that is now something else. And I got out of my car, and there were this was down by Fort Lauderdale Beach. There were these two kids, a boy and a girl, that were about 15 years old. They were like runaway street kids. And there were these guys talking to them who were about my age now, like in their 50s, but I was in my 20s then. I got out of my car, and I heard one of the guys say to this kid, "You've never had a guy blank in your blank before?" Used very salty language. And I didn't have a cell phone then because I couldn't afford a cell phone. You know, this was a long time ago. Only rich people had them. I called 911. I called 911. I told them what happened, what the guys looked like, their cars and everything, and they came. You know, I don't need to know the rest of the story. I just, that's what you do. This woman is like an advocate for these people.
The last thing I'm going to say to you this morning is about that so-called don't call it gay bill in Florida. I about lost my cookies over that one too. Come on, people! You want these teachers to be able to talk to a 5-year-old and
that's an old one, Chef.
About this? You people down there are sick if you pass this law. If you don't pass this law, I mean, my God.
Well, unfortunately, the Don't Say Gay bill is a victory for the left. And I'll tell you why. It's because it's referred to as the Don't Say Gay bill. And it's not what it's called. Gay's not in it. The law said that discussion of sexuality and gender is not permitted until after the 3rd grade in Florida schools. So after 4th grade, you can talk about all the genders and do whatever you want. But the fact that it's but the Democrats have won in a way because what else? We're calling it the Don't Say Gay bill, so it's known as that, and that's a big selling point that they're going to use running against Republicans. They've won kind of like the marketing war on that, and that's going to stick with Ron DeSantis for years to come. Watch.
DeSantis stood up there and went after the press on that, and I just...
it was great.
Just so proud of him.
But when he runs for president in 2028, or he runs as vice president with Donald Trump in 2024, the Don't Say Gay bill is going to be talked about all the time, and he's going to be questioned about it all the time, and even we, as conservatives, calling it the Don't Say Gay bill, you know what I'm saying? It's a marketing win for them in the short term. Unfortunately.
Well, they call it what they want. I call it what I want.
Yeah, I know. It's disgusting. It's disgusting what they've done. But Ron DeSantis is awesome. He has a press conference every day, and they always go that way. He handles me. Hey, Jethro, thanks for the call.
Oh, you bet.
All right, Chaplain Jethro. Good morning. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning, Brian. This is Sue from Michigan.
Sue from Michigan. What's up?
Hi, Brian. I had to regroup. Oh, this is such a tough conversation. But it's the children. Nobody talks about the victims. We can play this dance around game about what's woke and what's right and what's wrong. Why is nobody talking about the kids? Do you know when you go through this, you never recover? It's not like you wake up one day and go, oh, that happened. You never recover from this.
It sounds like you're a victim of something.
Do what, sir?
It sounds like you're a victim of something, or someone close to you is.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
Who's the victim? You're a victim?
Yes.
What happened?
With family. My biological father was an animal. And everything that entails. Broken necks, broken backs, blah, blah, blah. But you never recover from the abuse. So even these criminals that do these horrible things, so they get 5 years. What is 5 years to them compared to the children who must grow up with this? And here's the other thing that they're not telling you about. I can't remember the statistic on it, but it is just incredible. I want to say like 98%. Most victims of this crime grow up to become, they have problems with alcohol and drugs, that some people have other issues, psychological. They feel very worthless. There's just so many side effects to this that are devastating for the victim, that are lifelong.
Yeah, and one thing about all these offenders, they all reoffend when they get out of jail. Now Ketanji here, who's just, this is an insane position she has on this. What's your take on her? Why is she so sympathetic in your mind to these worst of the worst in our society?
Yeah, there's two different things I can say about that.
Now be careful, because you're on the radio, so you got to watch. There's something. Let me help you with it. Let me see if you agree with what I'm going to say, because you got to. These are, there are standards and practices that we are not going to cross here. There's something about her, in my opinion, that has her relating to these animals. I believe someone in her life, I don't know who, but someone in her life, or one of the, has got this problem, and she somehow is sympathetic to that person in her life, and she's transferring it here. That would be my take. Would you agree with that?
Yes, but then you're missing the other side of that.
Well, that one we're not going to cross. I think people know what you mean by that, because that's a line we can't cross here. But I get it. I get it. I mean, if I were up there on the Senate floor in the Senate committee asking her questions, I would be, today's questions, when I got my second round after we established her rulings, would be more personal. And members of Congress cannot, under the law, slander someone on the in the course of congressional business. So they can ask her anything about anyone, and we said enough. But listen, I got to run for a break. But thanks for the call, and for the sharing of your story, because that's tragic, but it's also helpful in the course of this discussion. All right, if you're on hold, stand by. We'll break and be right back.
Covered AM 1470, FM 95.3, 96.9. South Florida's FM Money Talk Radio Network. WWNN, Pompano Beach.
Be right back, guys.
Brian Craig here. You've heard Dr. Mitch
Steve Kane Show.
and Steve Kane's wife Lori talk about their COVID testing at any lab test now of Boca and any lab test now of Coral Springs. I've been tested too. So is Steve Kane and his son Tyler. Today on the radio, Rabbi David called in. He felt that he was getting sick and wanted to get tested for coronavirus. So he went to any lab test now of Boca. Go to Rabbi David. Hey, Rabbi.
By the way, you might hear congestion in my voice. I actually had a lot of congestion. I felt a little sick, and of course, I get nervous that, is it COVID or not? My wife also. So guess what we did? I listened to you. I went down to any lab test now yesterday, and I couldn't believe it. Went right in there. They put a little tiny thing, you didn't even feel it in my finger. Literally 10 minutes later, not a second more, they came back and said, you're fine, negative, great. We went on our way, and we just, not even worried. So
that $69 price is just for Steve Kane Show listeners. You got to mention that, and it's that little finger test. You get it real quick. I'll tell you, anytime somebody has any type of congestion, all of a sudden there's anxiety sets in, not just for them, but everybody around them. It's best just to go in and get the test. Say, I don't have the COVID. You know what I mean? Instead of dealing with all the wonder.
And they give you a piece of paper. But yesterday, I actually walked around with it. When people heard, you don't sound so good, I take out that piece of paper. I said, I was tested right here, and I pick up the piece of paper and showed it to them that says negative. And
any lab tests now of Boca and Coral Springs, they're good people, and we're very lucky to have them.
They're very caring and full of information.
First, we had a doctor recommendation from Dr. Mitch Matez. Now we have a rabbi. Rabbi recommended any lab test now of Boca, any lab test now of Coral Springs for your COVID testing. Yeah, that's great. Rabbi recommended.
Any lab test now of Boca and any lab test now of Coral Springs. Rabbi recommended by Rabbi David for COVID testing. Rapid coronavirus testing, just $69. But you have to mention you heard them on the radio. Any lab test now of Coral Springs is located on the southeast corner of University and Ramblewood near the Coral Square Mall. Their number, 954-906-5983. Any lab test now of Boca is in the Sandalfoot Plaza where the Western Beef is. Their number, 561-237-5009. Make sure you mention you heard them on the radio.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for WWNN.
All right, we are back. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning. My name is Maria from
Maria from Florida. What's on your mind?
Yes, I'm calling. First of all, good morning. How you doing?
I'm not doing well because we have this very twisted woman that may have a lifetime appointment to the Supreme Court of the United States, interpreting our Constitution for the next 40 years. So that's not good.
No, it's not, and it's not really good because I listened to it for the first time. I listened to the news about it. I watched Steve Kane show, and I was listening to the hearing, and I was disgusted. I was sick to my stomach.
Mm-hmm.
As you know, I am a victim.
Oh my goodness, I'm sorry.
I am a victim. I got raped when I was 13 years old.
Oh my goodness. By an adult?
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
It was an adult. And it ripped my life apart because I was never the same from that day forward. I'm better now, and that's due because I have made changes in my life. Over the years, I'm doing, I don't even think about it, but every time this issue
Steve Kane Show.
It gives me chills in my body because it makes
Hey, hold on.
like those memories of what I had to go through, all the treatment, all the rehab from it, everything. It literally took me away from my livelihood that I took.
Well, let me ask you because you've got, unfortunately, you've got a perspective, that I'm very sorry about, but I want to take advantage of that perspective. When you see this very twisted woman sympathetic to the worst of the worst in our society, the possessors of child pornography, what's your take on her? What do you think that's coming from?
I just think she's twisted. I'm gonna be very clear. Those types of people, those types of judges, they don't think about the situation that people have to go through that went through that. Only thing they're thinking about is, well, what is my next appointment? What is my next...
This is beyond that. I mean, what I've said is I think she has someone in her life, because she was this way back in law school, somebody in her life that has a problem or has had a problem, and she is sympathetic because of that. I don't know who.
I think so too. I think she's sympathetic towards criminals.
I don't think she's a victim. I've talked to a lot of victims like you and the lady I just talked to. Victims don't become advocates for these guys.
No. This is something, you got to look at her, because I did a research and I looked at her career, her whole career, she's been defending these people.
Yeah.
Been doing.
Yeah.
To me, it's disgusting. I don't want her on the Supreme Court. I really don't.
I don't think the Democrats do either. There's a lot of regret. Hey, Maria from Florida, thanks so much for sharing your terrible experience. It's helpful to this day. All right, take care. Thanks so much. All right, on the line, Dr. Janae Lemaski. That's right, Dr. Lemaski, who you can hear on our radio stations Saturdays at 11. So what's going on with this judge nominee, Dr. Lemaski? She's relating to these guys.
Yeah, this is unbelievable, actually, as a licensed clinical psychologist to even watch this and hear that this is not a no-brainer, that this person should never be where she is making decisions about these predators. You know, I work with people that have been molested, raped, sexually abused all the time. This leaves lifetime permanent damage. You know, there's many things that we do to help with the trauma, but unfortunately, people are never the same, you know, and they go through such turmoil for their lives. You know, you made an interesting analysis saying that maybe she's aligning herself because there's a family member, someone that was a predator and did this to someone else. But we also don't know how she behaved towards people in her life. Not that I'm accusing her, but maybe she overpowered someone. Maybe she someone into a position of discomfort. Because to have any type of empathy, you know, I almost feel like, why aren't they giving her an MMPI? This is personality inventory. Have a personality disorder or sociopathy? Well, then again, it's possible, you're right, that she's aligning herself with somebody she feels in.
When I saw her response, she wrote a paper when she was in law school in the Harvard Law Review saying that the justice system discriminates against sexual predators. And so this goes back her entire adult life now, and this is over the age of 22 because she's in graduate school and law school. And when she responded, I think she doesn't understand why people are giving her a hard time. She gave the one guy 3 months. He was 18. He was in possession of pornography of 8 and 11-year-old children engaged in sex acts. And those aren't peers. I mean, she's sick, Dr. Lemaski. She's sick.
The more I listen to this place, there is an amount of psychopathology that they're not picking up. They're letting somebody who's mentally ill herself be in a powerful position, which would not be the first time, unfortunately, in our society. But in this case, I'm hoping and praying that she gets booted out, because this is someone that is going to negatively impact so many victims. I just can't imagine that they're going to let her stay.
I don't think she's fit to be a lawyer, not to mention a judge. I think I've never heard someone sympathetic to people. There's only a handful of taboos left in our society, and the big one is that one, child pornographers and things. And I've never heard anyone sympathetic to child pornographers except child molesters that are interviewed.
I don't understand how they're not doing a psychological evaluation on her, because there's no way that it'll come up that she's just, okay.
Yeah.
These things light up like a Christmas tree. You'll see so much psychopathology, so many different things as a personality disorder condition. There is no way that this woman is mentally healthy.
No, she's not. Now, Dr. Lemaski, you can hear, any way you listen to the Steve Kane Show, you can hear Dr. Lemaski on Saturdays on all our radio stations and iHeartRadio at 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. Saturdays, taking live calls. And I did hear the call from Jerry on Saturday, which we don't have time to get into that, but I heard Jerry's call, which was he altered his story when he was talking with you than what he told me on Friday. But that's okay, Jerry. We still love you.
Had a good response.
No, he did not have a good response. It was he dug the hole deeper. But we'll talk, Jerry. You'll call me again someday. All right, Dr. Lemaski. All right, take care. All right, now it's time for the health report, and we're going to check in with Janet Cimarelli from AJ's Natural Wellness Shop in the Festival Marketplace. Janet Cimarelli, good morning.
Good morning, Brian, and good morning to all of your listeners. I have some very, very good news today. I don't have another pill to swallow, not another supplement that you have to, make sure that you have enough water, or maybe take it with applesauce. What I have is a wearable. Okay, something that you can put on your skin at certain suggested locations and protect your body from damage that's associated with certain chemicals, certain pollutants. maybe even some of the substances used in the manufacture of pharmaceuticals. And you can protect your body from the development of disease before you ever knew that there was a problem in the process of developing. Not another pill, a wearable. What am I talking about? One of the most important nutrients, glutathione. It's going to protect your eyes, your heart, your brain. It will help to repair DNA. What's so important about high-quality DNA? Well, when you're replacing an old, worn-out cell, you need to have the highest quality DNA, so the brand new cell that your body is making is highly functional, a perfect replication of the replaced, worn-out cell. So if you're dealing with the variety of different situations because you've been exposed to sugar, to preservatives, artificial colors, polyethylene glycol, polysorbate 80. Here's the way to the beginning path to absolutely superior good health. It's glutathione. It is the best of the best of the best of the antioxidants. Today, at AJ's, you can find the wearable glutathione, but you can also find the representative of Wiley's. Wiley's is one of my most favorite omega-3 producers. So I suggest Wiley's Summit DHA to protect your brain and enhance how it works. Hey, don't we all need that?
No doubt, yeah.
EPA to reduce inflammation. So if your joints are creaky,
yeah, and at AJ's, Janet, quickly, because we're a little over here at the top of the hour, but there's a spring sale going on right now at AJ's Natural Wellness Shop. Can you tell people what the sale discount is right now?
Oh, super, super, super discount. Yes, all through the store. 20% our already discounted
There you go.
Your conditioners, your moisturizers, everything to take care of your body, everyone.
That's right. Now, AJ's Natural Wellness Shop, everything 20% off, special spring sale in the Festival Marketplace. You can call them at 954-317-1851. And, of course, once you're, the festival just immediately east of the Turnpike on the south side of Sample, AJ's is easy to find inside. Head back towards the food court. Right before the food court, look west. AJ's is right in front of the information booth. All right, Janet, have a great day. We'll talk tomorrow. Okay.
Got you covered. AM 1470, FM 95.3, 96.9. South Florida's FM Money Talk Radio Network. WWNN, Pompano Beach.
Hi folks, Dr. Matez here, now with the Biostation West Delray. At Biostation West Delray, we continue to offer the highest level of experience and care you can find in the realm of hormone pellet and hormone replacement therapies. But that's just the start. We offer a full array of age management modalities, including state-of-the-art treatments for erectile dysfunction, sexual dysfunction in women, physical and sexual rejuvenation, and quite frankly, any sign or symptom of aging that you may have. And don't forget, we offer the complete array of all cosmetic modalities, including Botox, fillers, lasers, etc. Better energy, better sleep, better performance, and looks to die for. If this all sounds good to you, call us at 561-320-8893. That's 561-320-8893.
Attention seniors, protect yourself and your loved ones from losing your hard-earned assets to the government. Attorneys.
Oh, yeah. My third day. I've been drinking one of these a day and cut my coffee down in half.
Will be held Tuesday, April 12th from 2 to 3 p.m. at the South County Civic Center in Del.
If you're new here, make sure you subscribe. Everyone, please like the video.
Find out why at Attorney Barry Siegel's Free Living Trust Seminar. To make your reservation for this Free Living Trust a seminar. Call the Siegel Law Group right now. Toll free 1-855-FLA-3782. 855-FLA-3782. Seating will be limited, so call now to reserve your seat. 1-855-352-3782. 1-855-352-3782.
You are listening to South Florida's longest running radio show, The Steve Kane Show. To call the show toll free, dial 1-888-COCAINE-1. That's 1-888-COCAINE-1.
All right, 5 minutes after the hour, you're listening to The Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest running radio show on the radio since 1977, celebrating 45 years on the radio, The Steve Kane Show this year. Steve will be back with us tomorrow. My name is Brian Craig. We're going to go back to the phones. We're talking about this disastrous Supreme Court hearing yesterday. Our number toll free, 1-888-GO-CANE-1. Good morning, you're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, this is Richie.
Oh, hey, Richie.
She also put in her paper that she said it was unconstitutional towards the people that did this to the kids to register as a sex offender.
Steve Kane
because
Show.
it broke their rights. In other words, they going into a new neighborhood, she didn't want them to register. She wanted them to stay silent. So
Yeah.
move next door.
You know we have that in Florida. We have an online registry of the sex offenders. I check mine all the time in my neighborhood, and I'm proud to say my development doesn't have a single one in it. But I look in the area, and I've seen a couple of these lowlives at Walmart shopping.
Here's the deal. As a young man, I was about 15 years old in New York City. I was felt up by one of these creeps who was a professional bowler. And we were opening up a new bowling alley.
You were felt up by a grown man, when you were how old?
Behind. My brother wanted to beat the hell out of him. He used to touch his private parts on a regular basis.
Oh, my.
And that is why I remember something. And I'm going to throw this at you and Steve, because I'm going to bring up something. I've been a listener to you guys. You still had peach fuzz on your face, okay?
Yeah.
You, as liberals, you had a show. And you guys gave 3 hours to NAMBLA, North America.
Not me. That was before my time. Okay, on the air with Steve. I may have been running the board, but he did, and he didn't make them look good. I promise you.
Listen to that whole show. I tell you the truth, it bothered me the whole time because you gave him legitimacy.
Not me. He did not give them legitimacy. Listen, I know. I have a vague blur of those days of the Steve Kane Show, and I may have been running the board back then or not. He did not. He was not sympathetic to those people. He humiliated them, and he humiliated them. Yeah, that's called, Richie, that's called ridicule. Well, I don't know. It was that you're talking about a show like 30 years ago. I mean, I don't know. Come on.
Yeah, because that's why I remember the judge. Okay, it bothered me. Even Holly said that. You know what she did with a guy that sold fentanyl and cocaine? Did you see that one?
Yeah.
He got a 20-year sentence, and she apologized because she said she wouldn't give him that much time.
Mm-hmm.
All over again because the guy has to get out of prison for COVID. Because he said he was a smoker and he was high risk and everything else.
Mm-hmm.
This sentence, and it wasn't pro. She just did it because she did it. She cut his sentence in half again. She's incredible. She seemed like a nice person to me. She seemed sharp. But boy, she's got a problem with this crap. And I don't think
She is not sharp. Her response, her attempt at a defense was to further dig her hole. She was talking about how she basically said this, okay? She basically said this. She used a lot of words, to confuse people. But she basically said the laws are out of date. They were written and established in a pre-internet era. And because things are more accessible easily to people, it's not the same thing as it was years ago when people had to find some weird network to get these things.
Congress through all of it, not herself.
Well, of course, she's a liberal. Nothing's her fault. I'm surprised she didn't blame Putin like Biden.
Oh yeah. I know you're going to say no, but I got to ask. You brought it up yesterday, and I got to sort of say the South Beach deal.
Oh yes, no.
Bring it to Boca, believe it.
What? Who wants to bring what to Boca?
If they throw them out of South Beach, they're worried in Boca Raton Beach and all over there in Palm Beach and Boca that the spring breakers are gonna go.
Well, the beach in Boca doesn't have really any bars or clubs in it, and there's no space for it. It's where?
You know, they're worried. They're really worried.
Lake Worth. Listen, let me tell you something here. Let me tell you, a lot of what they're going after the tourist industry here to hurt Ron DeSantis, and do not. I've been telling people for about a year and a half, do not go to South Beach. Do not go to South Beach for vacation if you're out of town. It's been taken over by thugs, and you know, they don't want to. And I know what I would do. I know that the people in South Beach, the businesses aren't happy, and the city's not happy. They need to restrict liquor sales to 25 or something. They need to rate. You know, you can do that.
They got to blame the business owners for this one, because if you can recall, people that don't realize it, from after Easter to the beginning of the summer, very slow on the beach in Florida. And they said, we got to do something to get people here. So they decided to go with the urban weekend, and they've had trouble ever since.
Well, what they've done is South Beach used to be a glamorous area where, and I was talking about this yesterday, I used to go down there all the time when I was single, and you could be in a bar, and there would be a movie star next to you, and you could hang out and have a beer with them or do tequila shots with them. I've done it. You know, they don't know, or models or other famous people. It was not unusual. And when I went down, you had told me what happened to South Beach, and I went there about a little over a year ago, and it's the south side of Chicago with palm trees and neon.
Chance, and this isn't trying to be funny here. He's got a son that's over in Europe right now with this.
He's in Poland.
Is he safer there, or is he safer walking the streets of South Beach with these crazy...
Oh, his son is huge and Army trained, so no, I think his son is safe anywhere.
I'm saying the average person that goes down there is out of their mind, because what it is you can analyze the whole thing. It has to do with this rap culture.
Well, Governor DeSantis has to get a hold of this, because tourists are not going to go to Miami. Tourists are going to be afraid to come to Florida. To people outside of Florida, Miami is the whole state. Miami and Disney World. There's nothing else. Tourists are not going to come to Florida with their families when they're declaring a state of emergency.
Come back. Listen, you know how many actually made reservations, went there and spent like $400 a night on a room on A1A, and then they open up the door and they see what's going on in the street? You think they're going to go back?
It's been destroyed. South Beach was in better shape before it got the sprucing up, you know, like it was back in the 80s when all the old people were just living down there on South Beach. It is dangerous. It's not safe, and it's not just spring break. It's every day of the week. It's like this down there, and it was safer during the days of Scarface on South Beach, and I'm not exaggerating. No, I'm serious. I was down there during those days. You were too. This is the and it's not racial. There's a drug, you know, there was a tragic death from the girl from Right Side Broadcasting, and she was Miss Alabama, beautiful girl, black, and she was on Right Side Broadcasting. She was in South Beach because it's become an urban thing now, and she had taken this was reported, she had taken some type of drug. I don't know what it was. And she ran out of a window and was not on the first floor and fell to her death. And it was a tragic thing. She's a friend of friends of mine, and it was tragic. But there's a drug culture, a youth drug culture. It happens to also be minority, but that's a sideline. There's a youth drug culture in Miami, and these kids have money. You know, I see them pulling up in expensive cars that I couldn't afford with lots of cash, and expensive cigars and everything else. But Miami is equally as dangerous as the south side of Chicago right now, South Beach.
Oh, I agree 100%. And you just get I just don't bother anymore. I try to show somebody South Beach and was embarrassed. I called you and told you.
I'm embarrassed too, and listeners, I get contacted from listeners sometimes that are coming on vacation to Florida, and they ask me, and I tell them Fort Lauderdale, don't go to Miami Beach. It's years ago.
It's crowded, so you say it's not a racial thing, but I have to think it is. I have to think, and I know it's not going to be popular, but the rap culture,
A police officer, a police officer in Fort Lauderdale told me a few months ago, in private, off the air, that Fort Lauderdale Beach is not safe in the evenings anymore. Even he, as a police officer, is nervous.
The rap culture has got a lot of people, believe it or not. I mean, it's a very violent culture.
Yeah, well, we gotta move on. But I'm glad you brought it up. You know, when I brought that up yesterday about South Beach, I did not bring it up easily because it's it's very politically incorrect about that. But yeah, and I even thought before I even said what I said yesterday on the air and even this conversation, but it's dangerous. In fact, it's. When they've got money. When I was in high school, I went to the druggy high school, the crack addict slum school, Stranahan High School. But I had friends that went to the private school, St. Thomas, and Chris Everett Lloyd went to St. Thomas, very famous school. Brian Piccolo, and those kids had money, and what comes with the money? Nice cars and lots of drugs with those kids. So it's not a racial thing. It's just it's the hip hop culture down there is getting dangerous. I got to move on. But thanks, Richie. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hi, Brian. This is Sandra from Boca.
Hey, Sandra from Boca. Yes.
So, getting into your discussion about
the judge.
The judge. Yeah, that's just crazy because I was approached by a pedophile when I was a kid.
Oh my goodness.
And it was only an approach. Nothing happened. It was only an approach, and it impacted my entire life on how I view people, how I see people, who I talk to, because it was the most terrifying experience.
Where are you calling me from? Did this happen in Florida or somewhere else?
No, I was raised in Connecticut.
Oh, okay. It happened in Connecticut. So tell me what happened. So a pedo tried to pick you up?
My parents were shopping, and they let me run in and out of the sliding glass doors there, or whatever you call it, and I was just playing around, and this guy saw me, and he came up to me, and he pretended to know my dad. That was the first thing. I saw this guy with my life, but he pretended to know my dad, and he tried to kind of convince me, and I started to really get freaked out. Even at that age, that what this person is doing to you, or who this person is a stranger. It's not a good person.
Mm-hmm.
But what ends up happening is that too many people got crowded around, and he wasn't able to pursue me in the way he wanted to.
You escaped. So let me ask you about the judge here. What's your take on her? I've never, you're the third woman that's called me today with these stories. What is her deal? Would you say? Why is she sympathetic to the worst in our society?
I think your theories might be correct, and then again, she's never been impacted by something
Steve Kane show.
Serious, because
hold on.
you and I are almost about the same age, but she's not really comprehending. She doesn't have any comprehension on how this not only impacts the child or the victim, but also the victim's families.
I disagree with you on that. By the way, and the reason is that paper she wrote in college, in law school, that she said that the justice system was biased against sex offenders. And you put that with the sentencing that Hawley and Cruz went through yesterday, and then her pathetic response. No, this is. I think she sees it all too well. That there's something here. I mean, she's got. Dr. Lemaski says she needs to have some type of mental health examination. There's something wrong here with this woman.
was a woman back in the 80s by the name of Ellie Nestler, and her child, her boy, 7-year-old child, was raped by this guy, and she was there for the entire proceeding. I think that it wasn't going like they planned, like this guy might actually get off, and she shot the guy in front of everybody. That courtroom, like,
I hope they acquitted her, the jury.
they gave her well, first she had to plea a certain plea to get the.
There was a big case in the 80s, if you remember. There was some pedo that got away with rape, and he was being transported at the airport, and the father was pretending to be on the payphone and shot him dead. Remember that? And that guy was considered like an American hero. You know, this is one of the, I don't know what other taboos there are beyond this one. I mean, total taboos that are forbidden by all society. This is the big one. And I am predicting that they do not have they need 50 Senate votes. After yesterday, there's no way. I believe she's going to be withdrawn by Biden. He's going to give her the chance to decide that she needs to spend time with her family for the better and all some crap. But I don't think this is going to go for a vote. I don't think this is going to go for the full Senate vote.
Another thing, Brian, what is the difference on how you get access? What is she trying to do? I try to explain that to me. What is the difference? Okay, you couldn't get access as easily back before the internet era, but what is she trying to say? Because having access, well, that makes...
Well, my guess would be that there was probably safer access years ago because they didn't have the electronic trail that they have today. But she said, what she was saying is the laws are out of date, that this stuff is more accessible, and the sentencing guidelines don't match the easy accessibility. She was basically calling these guys victims, that they have access to things you didn't have before the internet, so it's not really totally their fault. That's how I took it.
Well, you know, I don't know if you know who Joyce Meyer is. She's one of the biggest preachers in this country.
Yes, I don't like her.
Well, she talks about her abuse every week.
Oh.
Preaching. She was very much sexually abused when she was a kid. And whether you like her or you don't like her, I understand. But at the same time, it just goes to show you that even she's probably in her 70s now, that to literally speak of it as often as she does, because I watch her from time to time, and it always goes back to that. I had to do this. I had to go through this therapy. You never get over it.
Yeah.
It's just impact on a person's entire life. Like that lady said earlier in your show, it's not something that you wake up and say, okay, that happened and now I can get over it. It's not the case.
Mm-hmm.
So there's just permanent.
Well, and she didn't even view the victims as victims. She was saying, you know, because she had said that because he didn't make the pornography, that he was only possessed it, that he didn't victimize these children. You know, when you're a consumer of something, you're responsible for its manufacturing. Like, you know, I have this water bottle here, you know, and I'm a consumer of this water bottle, so there's a demand for this bottle because of me. You know what I mean? If you take it away from this disgusting material is being made because there's a consumer for it. So no, you're as guilty as the person doing it, because you're creating a demand for it. Yeah, so her viewpoint is she's sick.
Something wrong. There's something wrong.
Yeah, and this what I'm trying to explain to people is there are only a handful of things in our society that cross party lines. This is not everything else. Like, for example, the Marsha Blackburn question: can she define a woman? Yeah, a person that has a vagina. She couldn't do it, okay, because of this new thing in our society with the genders. There's a debate over that, regardless of who's right or wrong. There's a debate over gender today. There's a debate over critical race theory that came up. There's a debate over Gitmo, right, which came up yesterday. There is. I mean, you know, we're on different sides. You and I agree that Gitmo is good and critical race theory is bad, and a woman has a vagina, you know. But there's a debate in our society over that. There's not a debate over these sicko possessors of child pornography. Okay, so this is unlike any confirmation hearing for any office this country has ever seen, not just a court, any office. and she is unfit for any office. And I'm calling on them not only to not confirm her, but to begin impeachment proceedings against her as a federal judge. She should be removed from the bench, and she should also have her law license revoked.
You know, they actually had a few years ago on TV 3 or 4 pedophiles that were being interviewed by this interviewer, and what motivates them to do these kinds of things. And all of them admitted that if they were locked up and released, they would do it again.
They always do. I mean, you've heard stories. I've seen stories of guys that do 20 years for rape. They get out, they go and rape the same person sometimes as soon as they're free. That's it. Hey, listen, I got to run. I'm already late for the break, but thanks for the call. Back after this.
This is Mike at Friendly Tire. I've been in business 30 years.
Steve Kane Show.
And offering great deals on
And
new and used tires.
Steve Kane Show.
I have many suppliers. Whatever car or truck you have,
Steve Kane.
I can get
Hold
you
on.
incredible deals
Steve Kane Show.
on any tire. I also do tire repairs
Hold on.
at very low prices. Give me a call. My number is 954-977-9445. I will give you a price over the phone on new and used tires. Again, my number is 954-977-9445. Thank you.
Traveling, you need a COVID test? Maybe you need a COVID test for work or school. Stop by Lab Test Now of Boca or Lab Test Now of Coral Springs. They offer all the COVID testing panels you need at the lowest prices, including the antibody test. Results in 15 minutes. Lab Test Now of Boca is located in the Sandalwood Plaza, where Western Beef is, south of Palmetto Park Road and north of Hillsborough on the east side of 441 State Road 7. Call 561-237-5009. Any Lab Test Now of Coral Springs is located on the southeast corner of University Drive in Ramblewood, near the Coral Square Mall in Coral Springs. Call 954-906-5983. Make sure to tell them you heard about them on the Steve Kane Show. Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for WWN.
All right, we're way behind on our breaks. My apologies. So the last 34 minutes of the program, we're going to have a little short segment here. My apologies, but let's go back to the phone. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Maria from Texas.
Maria from Texas. What's on your mind?
Yeah, I just want to thank you, Brian, for speaking out against this Judge Brown, because we really can't have people like that on the Supreme Court. We're, as a society, we're supposed to be protecting the most vulnerable people, which are our children. And when somebody who holds such a high position cannot see that these people harm kids for the rest of their lives. I was 5 years old when something like that happened to me.
Oh, my goodness.
And, I went from being a kid who used to play outside to being somebody who used to watch other kids from the window play outside because I couldn't go out there. And, I lived with it, trapped in my own mind because I couldn't share it with anybody. And so for this woman to support these people who are the most vile scum on the face of the earth is appalling to me. It is appalling.
Well, you're the fourth female victim to call me this morning on the air. What is your personal take on the judge herself having empathy for the worst of our society? I mean, I will tell you this. I will tell you now. This may. I'll say this. This is a taboo. This is a crime not equal to, but greater than even murder. I mean, this is a crime that's worse than murder in many instances, and that's a tough thing to say, right? I mean, they're making, what they're doing. Where's she coming from? Her empathy.
Well, I would tell you what. As an attorney,
Steve Kane Show.
I can't even imagine supporting these people.
Steve Kane Show.
I remember when I was first starting practicing law that there was a client of the firm that I worked in that was charged for possessing pornographic materials. And I, couldn't even be in the same, if that person was going to be at the office, I was nowhere there because I found that person to be so repugnant to be around. And for this woman to defend these people, it is just...
You make a good point. Well, she's a judge. She's not supposed to be defending them, but she has become an advocate for them in her sentencing. Exactly. She always has been an advocate for them. I guess even since
her Yale Law School days.
I'll tell you, Steve and I were friends with an attorney who's passed away. His name was Richard Essen, who was considered nationally the greatest DUI attorney ever. And he never lost a case. And he defended, he had no morals when it came to this. He defended an airline pilot once successfully in a DUI case, killing people, in these DUI cases, but he would never defend or allow his law firm to defend a child molester or a kiddie pornographer possessor or anything, because that's even a taboo that credible defense attorneys who will defend they'll defend a rapist but not a kiddie rapist. You understand what I mean? And for attorneys to turn that down, everyone's entitled to a defense, but you're not obligated to defend them. That's the one taboo where I've seen so many attorneys say, no, I'll defend anything but that. Drug traffickers, drug pushers, rapers of adult women, but they will not defend child pornographers or pedos.
They're trying to normalize it. They're trying to normalize it. And, we just have to stand up and defend our kids.
Mm-hmm.
Do it.
Mm-hmm.
And, before you brought up this whole thing with this judge, I was kind of the laissez-faire opinion that, they have the votes. They're going to do it. It's going to be their pick. But, you switched me into thinking, hell no. We have to fight back. We have to make a fuss. We all have to speak with or call our senators' offices and let them know that we do not support.
They need, because the balance of the Senate, they need 50. Okay, now it goes from the committee to the full Senate. They need 50 senators and then Kamala's tiebreaker. I don't think they can do it with this.
And we need to make a point. We need to take a stand and not just say, well, they're going to get. Biden's going to get some liberal whack-a-mole up in the Supreme Court. It's going to be another Sotomayor, another Kagan.
Yes.
So be it, but not somebody who supports
this. No, and I'll tell you this: I'm calling on the Republicans to call for her impeachment as a federal judge on the bench she now holds. She is unfit to be an attorney, not to mention a judge. I'm sorry. This is, I'm trying to think of what other taboos are there in our society. Can you think of any?
Hurting animals?
I don't know. Michael Vick had a lot of defenders.
You know what? And even Michael Vick or
Steve Kane Show.
I can say that on the scale, he's less offensive than these people.
Yeah.
Because you don't do that.
Well, and the things that she said, there were a couple of key things Hawley brought up, and it was with the one, he was 18 years old, he was in possession of a large amount of this filth with 8 and 11-year-old children. She described the children and the 18-year-old as peers who were close in age. 18-year-old and an 8-year-old and an 11-year-old? I don't think so. And gave him 3 months. 3 months.
I thank God that my abuse was limited, and when I hear about the abuse that other kids have suffered, I don't know how they continue. I guess I was able to just shove it in a corner and get on with life. But there's so many people that don't.
Now, let me ask you, the person that you had your, thing, did that, you think that you were the first and only?
No, but I'll tell you what, with the internet, that this woman logged as a means for this pornography to be bandied about a lot more easily. I think that now what these people are doing is they kill kids. They're killing them because now people do get on social media and they blast.
Oh, you think the internet's caused more than they? Oh, okay, they kill the victim more often. You think now? No, that's a.
Thank God for that.
Well, I'll tell you, in my, I don't know how old you are, but in my, my generation, there was a big turning point in my generation. It was Adam Walsh. And, and people that are, my age with parenting are very overprotective, all because of Adam Walsh. That was a big game changer. And that's something that everyone of my generation relates to Adam Walsh. And he saved a lot of lives, Adam Walsh. And John Walsh is an amazing person. I wish I could meet him one day. And people like she's talking about, the laws aren't hard enough. They should all have life sentences, because they will all reoffend. Even if you cut off their business, they will offend. All right, hey, take care. Thanks for the call. All right, full board of calls. We'll be back.
Brian Craig here. I'm in studio with my wife, Kathy, and she's here to tell you about her experience with the MyPillow mattress topper.
Well, as you know, Brian, I was waking up in pain almost every morning for years and years, and we had bought a new mattress not that long ago, but it still was not...
Cheryl Grade, $10 super chat. Thank you. Everyone, please thank Cheryl for that.
See if it helps or makes any kind of a difference. And I have to tell you, after sleeping on it just one night, I woke up, no pain, I felt incredible.
Unbelievable.
It made a huge, huge difference for me. And the pain has not returned.
Wow, that's absolutely amazing. Now go to MyPillow.com and order your MyPillow mattress topper and do what Kathy and I did. Use the promo code KANE at checkout, K-A-N-E. And this is an incredible deal, because with the promo code KANE, you will save 30% off the MyPillow mattress topper and get 2 free MyPillows. But you've got to use the promo code KANE at checkout, K-A-N-E. It comes in every size too, from twin all the way up to California King. That's promo code KANE, K-A-N-E, at MyPillow.com. Do you suffer from neuropathy? Maybe you do and you don't even know it. Do you have numbness, pain, burning, or tingling in your hands and feet? Muscle weakness, loss of balance, muscle twitching? Are you not sleeping? Does it feel like pins and needles in your hands and feet? Maybe you have no feeling at all. The symptoms can make life unbearable, but there is help at the Lighthouse Medical Center. Call 754-222-6642 for a no-charge consultation and say goodbye to your neuropathy symptoms. 754-222-6642. Online, lighthousemedicalcenter.com. Attention seniors, protect yourself and your loved ones from losing your hard-earned assets to the government, attorneys, and greedy in-laws. You are invited to attend Attorney Barry Siegel's Living Trust Seminar. It's free and will be held Tuesday, April 12th from 2 to 3 p.m. at the South County Civic Center in Delray Beach. All living trust plans are not created equally. Find out why at Attorney Barry Siegel's free Living Trust Seminar. To make your reservation for this free Living Trust Seminar, call the Siegel Law Group right now. Toll free 1-855-FLA-3782. 855-FLA-3782. Seating will be limited, so call now to reserve your seat. 1-855-352-3782. 1-855-352-3782. Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for WW.
Only one opening on the board at 1-888-GO-KANE-1. I'm Brian Craig. This is the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. On the radio since 1977, celebrating 45 years on the radio this year, the Steve Kane Show. Steve Kane will be back with us live tomorrow. This Supreme Court nomination process is something I didn't really plan on talking about much at all this week, because you got a black Democrat woman, you got a liberal media, and a Democrat president. You figure they'll sail through, even after we heard Hawley over the weekend. But seeing Hawley and Ted Cruz go over her sentencing in front of her and her pathetic explanations for what she has done, it's over for her. She is not. There's no way they can get 50 United States senators to vote yes and confirm this, advise and consent to this crap. There's just no way. This is crossing a line. I'm going to go right to our phones. I've lost track of who's called in what order. My apologies. The phones are on fire. Every line on the board is lit. We take the calls screenless on this program. That's by design, so I don't know who's on hold and what they're going to talk about. So I have no idea who's on hold. When people call in, I just put them on hold. Sometimes if you watch on YouTube, you may see me answer the phone. That's just when I'm waiting for one of our sponsors to call in around that time. So I want to try to do a proper introduction, which sometimes I do, sometimes I don't, because if I can't answer the phone. But I have no idea who is on hold and what they want to talk about. If you've been on hold for a long time and I haven't gotten to you yet, I will get through as many of these calls between now and 9 o'clock when the program ends as I can. My apologies on that. Good morning. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yes, I'm Carol Wilson, and I'm calling from Delray right now.
All right. Carol in Delray. What's up, Delray?
Yes, I agree with 100% of what the other callers said, but I never finished the Ukraine-Russia collusion story.
Nah, I don't. We want to do. Well, the Ukraine and Russia will be burning tomorrow. We'll do that tomorrow. All right. Take care. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Good morning. Hello. Yes. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Melissa from Pompano Beach.
Melissa in Pompano. You're on the air.
Okay, so no matter what the thing is, when I was 13 years old, I was working for our family dentist. That was just like feeding the fish, watering the flowers, whatnot. Our family dentist, I had 7 brothers and sisters. My other sister worked for him, and then she quit abruptly. And so then she's like, do you want to work for him? So I did. And the woman that was the secretary, back then they called them secretaries, she was on vacation that week. And so it doesn't matter. And this guy was totally like 65 years old. And he totally wrecked my life. And it doesn't matter. I don't want to start crying, but it does come back to you. And this woman, it wasn't until later on in my life that, I went through a lot of stuff in my head. I didn't tell my father or my mother. I ran into the dance studio, which was right down the hall. I locked myself in the door when it happened to me. And I waited because my father was going to pick me up from work. I never told my dad what happened. And it wasn't until he died, I didn't tell my father and my mother until I was like 40 years old. What have you done to me? But my parents being of a different generation, it's not like they didn't believe me, but it was like hard for them. It didn't even matter anymore because the guy was dead. And my sister, I confronted her 10 years later. I'm like, did he do that too? And she said, yes. And I'm like, well, why would you put me? Because I didn't know what. It's so sad, Brian. And it's a horrible thing. And to listen to her yesterday, I just wanted to throw something at the TV because it's not right. And as far as what Richie was saying earlier, my husband's daughter, it wasn't our daughter together, she just died of a drug overdose 3 weeks ago up in New York doing heroin, all this stuff, and we didn't know that she had a problem. This is like really, it's just beyond. And she grew up here in Florida, and she was doing what? And she was a rap, whatever. She wasn't she was into the boom boom music, whatever you want to call it. But it's a very, very trying month and a half, and it's horrible. I don't care if the kid's 18. Let me tell you what, if something happened to my daughter, I would have no problem getting a gun and shooting the guy.
Well, I want to thank you for sharing. I've heard from so many female victims on the line today. I'm starting to think almost every woman is a victim. Almost every woman seems to be a victim of some type of sexual abuse. I want to ask, and I've asked the other women this question, and we know the judge is not a victim because victims are like you. They're traumatized. Where is she coming from on this? I
don't get it. And, and then when she was saying that her brothers or whatever, cousins or cops or whatever, I don't understand a lot of this stuff. I don't understand it. So I don't know why she would protect the pedophiles because unless... I don't understand it because it doesn't make sense.
I've never seen someone like her before in our society. Not a female. Not a female. This is very strange. This whole thing is very strange, unprecedented, and historic in our society. This is insane what we're seeing here. And
what you brought up about Adam Walsh, because I'm like a little bit older than you, because I live here in Florida, and I was the same with my daughter. I was very, very protective.
Well, I'll tell you, Adam Walsh, who was kidnapped from the Hollywood Mall here in South Florida, I lived in Columbus, Ohio at the time, and I didn't come here for years after, And still, even as far away as Ohio, Adam Walsh had an impact on me. You know what I'm saying? That was I remember seeing John Walsh and his wife on Good Morning America after they found out what happened. And that's a big change in our that was a big change. I don't think people realize Adam Walsh has saved millions of people's lives.
Did, and he's a hero, and in my mind, anyways. But he did a lot of good, and I don't know what is going on.
This woman is not sane. She is not a sane woman.
So what? Why do you think?
I think, as I've been saying today, I said yesterday, there is. Because this goes back to law school because we have the paper she wrote in the Harvard Law Review where she said that the laws discriminate against sex offenders. Okay, she wrote a whole paper about this in law school. So that goes back to her schooling days. I believe there is someone that has been in her life at some point in her life that has this problem, and that she empathizes with them. I don't know who. I'm not making any allegations, but there is someone that she has a connection to that's got that problem. This is an interesting thing about the guidelines, because all the guidelines were about the kiddie pornographers. I didn't hear a story about like an Uber driver who raped a passenger he brought home drunk from a bar kind of story. These were all about pedos. There's that which I don't know. Maybe she just got all the pedophile cases. I don't know. But if this were one case, it'd be bad. But if there was one case, and she said, I understand what you're saying, but there were some circumstances that I wasn't really convinced of his guilt, even though he was convicted. So there were some questions, and so I gave a like. But that's not this. That would be bad. But that's not this. This is a pattern. This is like we used to have a judge in Broward County, Judge LeBeau, who they called Let Him Go LeBeau. And she would let people go, not like this, but, she would let people go on low-level crimes in Fort Lauderdale and Broward County. If she had it within her will, she would give them all 3 months if she was able to. Or time served some of these guys. I mean, she has got a problem.
She showed for like 45 minutes.
Shame on you.
I know. Well, I had to take a phone call from.
Man, this show, 3 hours. This is, doesn't all of America spend 3 hours here?
It's 6:01 this morning.
And you better not miss my podcast.
I listen to your podcast with you and Kathy at night.
Thank you.
Anyway, and your daughter Emily did a great job. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Real quick, because I got to run.
But quickly, I think it was on Monday's show, The View. Sunny Hostin, who I can't say, but I like to see the first 8 minutes of what they have to say. Their little view on, all right? But she was not happy with her about her.
Well, then she's bad. If Sunny Hostin on The View was not happy with a black Democrat woman nominated for something, there's a problem.
Because she was about the guidelines, and she couldn't defend her, and Whoopi's.
Wow.
We got to go to commercial.
I bet. All right, take care. Thanks so much. All right, we'll be back with the Gold Report.
Attention seniors and those who care about them.
Steve Kane Show. Steve Kane. Yeah, hold on. Hey there, hold on.
Or call them directly, 954-345-1214. No matter where you're located throughout the state of Florida or nationwide, 954-345-1214. 954-345-1214.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for W.
All right, and it's time to check in with William Youngerman from the offices of William Youngerman Incorporated in Boca with the Morning Gold and Precious Metals Report. William Youngerman, how are the metals looking this morning?
Looking very good, Brian. After yesterday's giving us a buying opportunity, pulling gold back down to that 1924 area, closing out the day at $1,921.70, down $14.30. Silver was down to $24.77, down 42 cents. And the buyers were lined up at our offices yesterday taking advantage of this dip. We're so proud of our Steve Kane listeners who have learned to buy on these dips. Gold platinum was down $15 at $1,020, and palladium closed down $95 at $24.31. This morning we see the net market coming back up again. Gold up $6 after trading in a range overnight from 1916 to 1935. Right now, 1927.70. That's up $6. So we're just under the $25 number at $24.95, up 18 cents. Platinum unchanged at $1,020, and palladium up $14 at $24.45. Oil hanging around that $113 barrel price, and markets look poised to go much higher yet, and keep taking advantage of any kind of pullback that you do.
Yeah, and a lot of time, a lot of what we talk about is bullion buying, right? You're buying gold, you're buying silver, you're buying platinum to buy as an investment. A lot of people are into the metals also as a collectible. If people are into the collectible side of things, and there's particular coins or monies that they're looking for, can you help them find specific things that they're looking for their collections?
Absolutely. We've been representing collectors for over 50 years, buying coins and rare coins and currency all over the world for our clients in different auction sales. And also, of course, we have a large inventory of rare coins in inventory also. So some wonderful selections, especially world gold, U.S. gold coins minted before 1933, and of course a lot of rare, beautiful banknotes.
Yeah. So you collectors, you hear that? William Youngerman, located right here in Boca at 150 East Palmetto Park Road on the first floor of the Bank of America building, just east of US 1 Federal Highway on the south side of Palmetto. Online, WilliamYoungerman.com. They open up weekdays at 10. You can also call 1-800-327-5010. 1-800-327-5010. All right, William Youngerman, we'll talk tomorrow.
Okay, Brian, and congratulations on 45 years. And it's nice to know that we've been with you for almost 20 of those.
Yeah, but we're never going to get to you, because William Youngerman started in 1967 before Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin walked on the moon. So you got us beat, but thank you. Thank you. All right, take care. All right, bye-bye. Yeah, 45 years is a long time, the Steve Kane Show. That's I celebrate that. But because it certainly is something to celebrate. Good morning. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning, Brian. How are you?
Oh, hey, Wisconsin Gary. I know you've been on hold a long time. I'm looking at the board. I'm sorry, Gary.
Well, I'm getting a cheap amusement here, sitting in Detroit, Michigan, getting unloaded at my last stop, watching a squirrel trying to climb up a fence, and he keeps sliding down. So it kind of passed the time. But I want to first say, for everybody that's been a victim, you have my hearts and prayers, and hopefully a healing, and hopefully you get on to move on with your life after something. So
you can hear with the women today. I mean, these are women in their 40s, 50s, 60s, and older that have called me, and you can see they're talking about something as a child. You hear them tearing up in the calls.
Right. But unfortunately, those people, as much as they should actually be treated like January 6th people, but they actually got a constitution, and like when you had Justice Kavanaugh on there defending himself for everything it is.
Drinking a beer.
Yeah, like one thing he mentioned, though, if you bring a good case to the trial, I mean, that's probably chances are maybe why some of it can be set like it is. But like Dr. Lemaski kind of mentioned out, that, yeah, she should have a mental evaluation, but heck, we can't even get a mental evaluation on President Biden, and he keeps rambling on with everything that goes on.
Yeah, but see, Gary, this is so different. I know I've been hitting this a lot today, but this is the greatest taboo in Western civilization and in American society, the molestation of children and child pornography. And that is Biden, people, the left can debate that. Yeah, he's not what he used to be, but he's got people around him. There's no debate on this. There's no debate on these people that she gave these walkaway sentences to, 3 months to the one guy. There's no debate over that. Everything else is debatable. Critical race theory. She can't define what a woman is. That's all debatable. This is not. There's no two sides to it.
And I really hope the Senate sticks together and votes no. But the other thing, if you didn't know, she's also married to Paul Ryan through marriage.
Yes, I do know that. Yes, she is related to Paul Ryan. Maybe they'll lay this on that now. That may start coming out of the mainstream media. I believe the Democrats are going to move to get Dumper. But what's going to happen right now is Biden's going off to Europe, and they're going to see how the news cycle does this. I'm not convinced that Jen Psaki has the COVID. Jen Psaki, she already has had it at least one other time. This may be her third time. It's unclear, second or third. Jen Psaki, I believe, does not have the COVID. I believe Jen Psaki has stayed behind to try to figure a way to get the hell out of this thing with the judge. This is a big problem.
Yes, because my wife told me yesterday about it, and I'm like, wait a minute. Isn't this like the second time Jen Psaki
at least
had COVID? And I was like, something smells fishy here. I was like, you got a judge nominee going on here, and it's like, I think because like the last time she was trying to dodge a lot of the questions of, I don't remember at that time what was going on when she got the first COVID, but just to try to avoid the press and to have somebody else have to be the one underneath them.
Yeah, it's a cover story.
So, yeah, a cover story. But, I just hope that the Senate sticks together and votes her no and go her way. But, she was appointed by Obama for one thing, because I was kind of looking at Wikipedia and stuff. So she was nominated first off by Biden or Obama, and then Biden, of course, for the nominee. So that tells you a whole lot.
Indeed. All right, Gary. Take care. Thanks for the call. Have a great day, Brian. All right, you too. Good morning. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Good morning. Yes, you're going to be the last call of the day. The rest of you on hold, my apologies. We're almost out of time, so you're going to be the last caller of today's program. I hope it's a good one.
I met Adam. I met Adam Walsh at, believe it or not, Polo, and I have my picture taken with him.
I think you meant John Walsh. I don't think you meant Adam Walsh. I think you meant John Walsh.
I'm sorry, Adam was his son. John.
Yes.
Yes. He's quite handsome. I was really, my girlfriend and I went, oh my gosh, that's him. So we quickly went over and asked him, do you mind if we take your picture with us? And he said, absolutely not. So I asked somebody to take our picture. So that's in my memory bank. But what guy? Oh my God, amazing. And thank you so much for taking my call. You know what everybody should do is call their senators and say vote no.
Yeah, and where are the advocates? Where are the women in the handmaid's costumes? Tail costumes. Where and I got to tell you, John Walsh. He's not retired, John Walsh. I would very much like to see John Walsh over with his friends at CNN giving analysis on this. I know he's been doing stuff with CNN, and and where are the advocates for the children? There are organizations, aren't there, that are out there, the missing children organizations and everything. Where the hell are they? Something. There are professional activist organizations that should be in these hearings. All right, I thank you for the call. All right. Now, I want to tell everyone we're almost out of time. Quickly, the inventor of the MyPillow. That's right, the Thomas Edison of sleep, Mike Lindell, for Mother's Day has brought back his incredible special on the 3-inch MyPillow mattress topper, which I sleep on every night. 30% off, and you get 2 free MyPillows when you use the promo code KANE at checkout, K-A-N-E. Go to MyPillow.com, the 3-inch MyPillow mattress topper, 30% off, and you get 2 free MyPillows when you use our promo code at checkout, KANE, K-A-N-E. You can also order by phone, 1-800-716-4879, 1-800-716-4879, promo code KANE. My name's Brian Craig. This is The Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show, on the radio since 1977, celebrating 45 years on the radio, The Steve Kane Show this year. Steve Kane will be back with us tomorrow. Until then, everyone, have a great day. Thanks so much for tuning in. Great calls today. Those of you on hold, my apologies. You didn't make it. But we ran out of time. But we'll be back tomorrow at 6 a.m. Take care, everyone.
We've got you covered. AM 1470, FM 95.3, 96.9. South Florida's FM Money Talk Radio Network. WWNN, Pompano Beach.
All right, that's it. Hey, guys, if you're new here, please subscribe. And everyone, like the video and click the notification bell. I upload new content here all the time. You know, like I vlog a lot. I did my, over the weekend, I was at the Trump speech. Have you guys all seen that video yet? It's a great one. And, of course, I upload my podcast here as well. Well, thank you so much, Chaplain. Chaplain had a great call on the show today. Very much appreciated. Got to turn our voicemail on. All right, guys, take care. I'll see you soon. Thanks for watching. Make sure you like the video.